At the sight of Yunwoo's gorgeous face, Chi-Mo can't help thinking of another person. And every time I think of that person, there's always a kind of light sadness in Chi-Mo's heart. Only this kind of feeling, he who also can't tell, can bury in the heart. What's more, standing in front of him at this time is the child of that person, and he is even more unable to show his mind. How did you come back? After a long time, Chi-Mo finally found his voice. The night is not central. Pull Cloud danced together, sat down in Chi-Mo's opposite. Three people look at each other. Cloud Dance looked up at Chi-Mo's face, suddenly felt that he had left for several years, as if he had never changed. Mr. President, your strength has improved a lot. Cloud Dance eyes of say, can clearly feel Chi-Mo compared to oneself leave of whole exaltation or realm. It's just a little promotion. Compared with you, it's far less. Chi-Mo light said, as if his mouth said, just a very small thing. What small promotion? Cloud Dance silently make complaints about it in the heart. A few years up a realm, if this is put in the ordinary people, is absolutely feel incomparable genius. But in Chi-Mo here is just a small promotion. But on second thought, what Chi-Mo said is right. Compared with himself, this improvement is nothing. Three people casually said something. Cloud Dance will directly turn the topic to the business above. To tell you the truth, Dean, this time I come back, I really have a big event, which needs the support of the hospital. Cloud Dance said seriously. Oh, Chi-Mo raised eyebrows in surprise and said, what's the matter with you? You can't make it by yourself. Do you need the college to help you? It's a big deal, of course. Yunwoo shook his head with a bitter smile. It's not a small thing that can make Yunwoo feel that it's a big thing. Listen to him first. Dean, the night is not central in the side help cavity guide, for fear Chi-Mo accidentally refused Cloud Dance request. Tell me. Yunwoo's face suddenly became serious. I don't know. Did the dean hear about what happened at the gate of the college this morning? Chi-Mo faced doubts of looking at in front of two people. Since this morning, he has been hiding in his study and looking at the books about cultivation. He has never come out. Now, when he comes out, he goes to the garden. Therefore, he naturally does not know what happened at the gate of the college. What happened this morning? Chi-Mo asked in surprise. Yunwoo and Yueyang look at each other and shake their heads helplessly. Now the three kingdoms have all fallen into the hands of the Beast Gate. I thought those people didn't dare to make trouble in our college. Who knows, I met them at the gate of the college this morning. The night does not center coldly say. Cloud Dance said, their target at that time was me, but someone showed them the way and led them here. These cowardly people, clearly their homes were occupied by others, even helped others. Ridiculous. Is that why they killed at the gate of the college? Night is not central. Do not praise the view of the clouds. The college is full of students. Although they have training on weekdays, the college is a pure land after all. They actually kill people in front of the door in a dignified way, and they don't pay attention to us. Do they really think our college is empty? If you control the three kingdoms, I think they will fight back to the college sooner or later. The night is not the words of Yang. Then poke in the key. Chi-Mo listened to two people's dialogue, vaguely also guess what happened in the morning. The face is not good-looking now. I've heard something about the Beast Gate. I have known for a long time that the three kingdoms have been ruled by them, but I didn't expect that they are so rampant now. Chi-Mo said coldly. Xiao Wu, what do you want to do this time? To be honest, I have gathered forces from all sides and other places. Decided to fight them to the death as soon as Yunwoo's words were finished. He thought Chi-Mo would be surprised, but he didn't expect that he didn't look surprised. I see. Chi-Mo light said. What? Have you got all those things together? Yunwoo shook his head and said, no, there are some problems, so I'm afraid we can't get them together. What are you going to do? It's not so easy to open the boundary of the Beast Gate. Chi-Mo drank a mouthful of tea and said that he was not worried when he heard that Cloud danced and gather. Assemble all forces willing to fight them. Even if we don't have those things, we can fight them with our own strength. It's just a barrier. What's the difficulty? Yunwoo's eyes are bright and frightening, and his look is very firm. Chi-Mo was silent for a long time, and finally said, okay, I support you. What do you need me to do? Cloud dance alone, although no GMO will certainly support oneself, but didn't think that he even didn't ask carefully, agreed directly, is a kind of trust. Yunwoo was very moved in his heart, but he also knew that this was not the time to talk nonsense. So he said, if you want to deal with them, it's not enough to rely on the strength of the outside college. I hope you could take me into the inner college. I will persuade the elders to let the whole college join us. Into the inner courtyard? GMO pick eyebrow, said, with your strength, want to enter the inner courtyard is not difficult? Yes. Do you need my help? Cloud danced and cover up and said, I'm afraid I can't convince them. I hope you can help me say 2 words then. After all, you are the president of the outer court, and your weight is not light. GMO chuckles, but the cloud dance talks straightforwardly. Yunwoo knows very well that it is very difficult for her students to stand on her side and deal with the Beast Gate together. She knows that the tutors and elders in the college have a strong sense of justice and will not have much aversion to joining. But helpless, the students in the college come from all over the world. Everyone has a different identity. If you let the college join you, it is to let these students join you. If they join, it's more about all the forces behind them. This is not a small project. They must be responsible for the students. What's more, if the college joined, but behind these students, there are people who took refuge in the beasts. That will be the most troublesome. GMO, who was worried in Yunwoo's heart, naturally understood that there was no need for Yunwoo to say anything more. So he said directly, since you've come, don't think so much. Time doesn't wait. Since I want to enter the inner courtyard, I'll start now. After that, GMO stood up directly and walked slowly towards the outside. Yueyang pulled Yunwoo's sleeve with a look of joy and said, I didn't expect that you could get the help of the dean so smoothly. Now it seems that as long as you convince the dean, you are half successful. How can it be so easy? Yunwoo said with a smile. They followed the president and walked towards the inner courtyard together. The inner courtyard is built on the mountain. If people want to enter the outer courtyard, they can only enter it through special flying warcraft. Although Cloud Dance has its own way, this time it is more or less for others. Naturally, it is not convenient to go up in a big way, so it's just behind GMO, waiting for him to call someone to bring the flying warcraft. Let's go. GMO gave an account, and then jumped directly to a warcraft. Cloud Dance and Night, not Central, 2 people immediately follow, also, and GMO sat together. Flying under the body, Warcraft spread its wings and flew to the top of the mountain. Cloud Dance looked down at the bottom and found that many students from other colleges were watching. Look, that's Elder Marshall's sister Yun. The students said excitedly, looking at the flying warcraft in the sky. Their eyes twinkled with envy. The speed of flying warcraft is very fast, not to mention the warcraft raised by the college itself. Before long, flying warcraft flew directly to the top of the mountain. After stopping at a fixed place, the 3 people jumped from the top one after another. How can Premier GMO come up when he has time? The guard on one side said hello with a smile when he saw the dean. GMO nodded lightly and said with a smile, I brought people here. Where are the elders now? They're all in the chamber. You can just run into them now. GMO nodded, turned his head and said, let's go, let's go. 3 people then walked toward the meeting hall together, that the guard around but all a face surprised of looking at Cloud Dance and Night Knot Center. I don't think that person looks familiar, but I can't remember who it is, said one of the guards. I also think, well, no matter who she is, I don't want to think about it if I can't remember it. Because a guard said it. Well, isn't that Elder Marshall's sister Yun who left a few years ago? Among the guards, someone finally thought of it. What? Elder Marshall's sister Yun? Several guards couldn't believe it. They turned to look at the snow and found that it was really Elder Marshall's sister Yun in their memory. But now they have gone far away. The inner conference hall of the college. 3 people on foot to a moment, ahead of GMO walk in front of the most impolite knock on the door. No matter whether the people inside agreed or not, they just pushed the door open and went in. Who should I be? It turned out to be President GMO. Why are you free today? Only one elder said. Cloud Dance. Suddenly an elder stands up excitedly and points at the person behind GMO and says in surprise, "You are really Yunwu. Are you really back?" This excited elder is the 5 elder. What? Cloud dance. It's really cloud dancing. Elder Yao also stood up and said in surprise, "How did you come back?" At the same time, all the elders here have seen the existence of cloud dance. One by one, they were surprised and speechless. Cloud Dance helplessly shook his head, had to come forward and said, "Several elders haven't seen each other for a long time. How? You don't seem to want me back?" "Ha ha, how could we not want you to come back?" 5 old men touched their mustaches and laughed. "Why did they come back suddenly this time? But what's the matter?" He knows Cloud Dance very well. Unless something happens, how can he come back suddenly? And can let Cloud Dance come back in person certainly is not a small matter. Yunwu looked at the people present. I found that almost all the elders in the college had come here. It was a good time to talk about things. Now, I made no secret and said my purpose directly. "What did you say? Are you going to attack the Beast Gate? What can you do with them? Is it just by bringing everyone together?" "Yes, it's no small matter to attack the gate of 10,000 beasts." "What do you want to do?" Cloud Dance looks at the anxious Dark Elders in front of them and knows that they are also very confused about the situation of the Beast Gate, but there is no way to do it. Now it's put forward by themselves, just to give them an account. "At least a stool. Let's sit down." Chikemo spoke at the right time. The elders found that they would be a little too excited. They sent someone to move the stool and let several people sit down. After sitting down, Yunwu said everything he had said to Chimo. Chimo also gave him timely support. After that, all the elders present were silent. Yunwu's mind sank down a little bit. Looking at the elders' faces as time went by, it seemed that it was extremely difficult for them to nod. Day after day, the boundary of Mudu continues to be noisy in a silent forest. All people are performing their duties and proceeding with the next things in an orderly way. I don't know when Long Qingxia will be able to come back. Mu Xiaoming and Nangong walk on the edge of the training ground, looking at the fighting spirit of the whole training ground. Nangong narrowed his eyes slightly and looked at the prosperity in the ruins in front of him. Not long ago, there was a mess full of despair. The setting sun has gradually set, and the people in front of the training ground have scattered, ready to start dinner. For a moment, the whole world of Wood Capital is full of the smell of food. Before I got back to my residence, I saw that Shangguan was salivating and running towards the kitchen. "Why are you going?" Mu Xiaoming grabs the passing Shangguan with a bad smile on his face. I'll see what's in the kitchen today." Shangguan laughed and looked at Mu Xiaoming, who seemed to have caught a thief. He was very guilty. "No, I didn't want to steal." Before he finished, Mu Xiaoming began to laugh. He patted Shangguan on the shoulder and took Shangguan to the residence. "Don't worry, I think the cooking girls are on the way." On hearing this, Shangguan's stomach began to growl uncontrollably. Back at the house, everyone had gathered and sat at the table. "I don't know when they will come back." Mengbai sighed and looked down at the table. "I really hope this peace will continue, but it's no accident that when Xiaowu comes back, it's the day when we start the war. Next, I'm afraid it will be a fierce battle." In a word, all the people said were silent. For a moment, everyone bowed their heads and didn't know what they were thinking. "Come on, it's time for dinner." I don't know what people are thinking. It's so heavy. Come on. Anyway, let's eat first. Just at this time, a group of people with food came in and filled the table with food. The good food and wine on the table made everyone's heavy heart be taken away by the smell of food. Looking at the food on the table, they rubbed their hands excitedly. "I'm not going to distribute the dishes and chopsticks to you yet." Cheese pushes the Shangguan who is nearest to the bowl and chopsticks and says with a cold face. Shangguan laughed and stood up in a hurry. He went to the chopsticks and bowls and handed them out to everyone. All of a sudden, everyone was happy again. Chi says thanks to the woman who is cooking beside him. She turns her head and looks at a group of people in front of her. They are just like children. She knocks on the table helplessly and says, "Let's have dinner. We must be energetic recently. I'm afraid we'll be ready to start when Xiaowu comes back." "Yes, sadness should not be now. We have more important things to do." Shangguan laughed and turned to Mu Xiaoming. "In that case, our Mu Xiaoming, should use chopsticks first. After all, you are the leader of our Mu capital. Mu Xiaoming was not polite. He picked up the dishes and put them in the bowl. He said with a smile to the people around him, "We're not polite. Let's eat quickly." They talked and laughed, and finally moved the chopsticks. "Ah, I found that this dish is quite delicious. Who is the cook? I must go to thank him." Shangwan took a bite and immediately praised him with intoxication. Beside him, Qi stands up silently and pours the wine for everyone. He looks at the night outside the door by himself and sips it lightly. Nangong Yi, sitting opposite, frowns slightly and holds his glass. He looks at Qi Yi's in a daze. After 3 rounds of drinking, everyone was tired and sleepy. They said good night and went back to their room to sleep. In the early morning of the next day, Shangwan was suddenly awakened by the noise outside. When he opened his eyes, he heard a voice coming from outside. "Do you mean we're going to the human world next?" "Yes. The transmission lines of various forces have been built one after another. Then we will go to the human world and join the little guys. Let's attack the headquarters of the Beast Gate in the human world." Shangwan looked out of the window in a daze. At dawn, there were countless people's footsteps. He only heard Nanganji's voice outside. "Where's the dragon and the little dance?" "The little guy has gone to other places to seek support now. We will prepare today and take you to the entrance of the human world." Long Qingxie is saying, Qi Yi's and others also come out of the room. Shangwan yawned, rubbed his blurred eyes, dressed, and walked out. I saw that all the people had arrived and stood by the side of Long Qingxie. "Everybody's ready to go. Let's gather all the people who can leave now and go to the entrance of the human world first. A large number of other troops are waiting for our notice." Shangwan seldom takes it seriously, and everyone nods. So a few people scattered away to wake up the warriors who lived in the border of Mudu. Gradually, the rising sun has dyed the whole boundary of the wooden capital red, and everyone wakes up one after another, tidies up, and walks towards the square of the boundary of the wooden capital. Before long, a large number of people gathered in the square, talking and laughing in a low voice, looking very relaxed. They practice martial arts here on weekdays. Although they are not from a tribe, they have become very good friends. They may not have expected that this gathering might be the last dawn before the war. Everyone seems very confident. After all, this square is only a part of the elite troops. The real big troops are still waiting to be summoned in their respective tribes and cities. Not long after, Long Qingxie and others saw that people were almost gathered, and then they came to the front of people one after another. The large group of people saw several people coming up and finally stopped talking. They quietly looked at the people of Long Qingxie, waiting for what they were going to say next. "Hello, everyone. I think you all know me. Now our situation is like this." Long Qingxie looked under the stands and showed a smile of evil spirit, which made people not know what he was thinking in his heart. All of them quietly looked at the people in front of them, and no one spoke anymore. But when they looked at the dragon Qingxie and others in front of them, they were very relieved because they knew that the people who led them to attack the Beast Gate were all extraordinary people. At present, we have gathered a lot of people, enough to attack the Beast Gate, so from today on, we should prepare to go to the human world. The entrance of the human world has been occupied by the heat of the Beast Gate, so we should be very careful, otherwise it is easy to be scattered by the Beast Gate. We must be very careful. We are at the entrance of the human world. Join us and enter the human world together. As soon as they heard this, their eyes immediately filled with fighting spirit, and the whole square was boiling with blood. The real battle is coming. Someng Bai and Qi Yi's, Shangwan and Nanganji, Mu Xiaoming and Long Qingxie led the group into 3 groups and headed for the teleportation array, intending to enter the human world together from the entrance of the 3 kingdoms. Not long after that, we all arrived near the transmission array. For a moment, we were all excited, noisy, and talking about each other. "Be careful, then." Long Qingxie stands on the side of one of the teleportation arrays and looks at you with a smile. It seems that the breath of domineering evil spirit is born, which makes people's eyes involuntarily attracted. In the past, we say goodbye to each other, and walked towards the teleportation array. In an instant, the white light flashed, and everyone disappeared in the transmission array. Not long after that, Chi's 6 men had already taken them to the entrance of the human world, but they found that the troops of the 10,000 Beast Gate had been added to the entrance, and they were guarding the entrance tightly, for fear that they might miss the possibility of catching them. At the gate not far away, one of the people in the Beast Gate suddenly came towards this side. A large group of people on this side suddenly felt nervous. They found a cloud dance in front of them. Then, the level of the people they were guarding here must not be low. Looking at these people behind him, Long Qingxie couldn't help raising his eyebrows. He didn't seem to have a good chance of winning. In a twinkling of an eye, he saw that the man in black in front of him had pointed to this side and ran in this direction. What to do? Some people around said anxiously, looking at the people coming in front of face of anxiety. The people of the Beast Gate over there have already started to form a team and run towards the direction of a group of people. Suddenly, there is a dark cloud at the entrance of the whole human world. If you can't retreat, Shangguan said, his face gradually grim. If we are in direct conflict with them now, it is tantamount to creating a huge problem for us to attack the human world, so we better withdraw this morning. All 6 nodded solemnly in recognition. However, the Beast Gate did not give them the chance to escape. Countless people with weapons in their hands rushed to this side. The companions looked at each other, gritted their teeth, and rushed forward. The two forces collided and the whole human world was at war. Nangong suddenly pushes away a man who cuts at him in front of him, turns his head and looks back, frowns, and says cautiously, "We must leave here immediately." At this time, there was fierce fighting at the entrance of the human world, but Shangguan and others could not enter the human world, which made everyone very anxious. Nangong clenched his fist, looked at the place not far away, and said to other humanitarians, "We must leave as soon as possible. There are already people in the human world who are in the same realm coming towards this side." So, without saying a word, Shangguan directed the people around him to run towards the transmission array. "No, there are too many people. Let's go back." So the people behind them turned back and ran towards the transmission array. All of a sudden, the whole entrance was in chaos, and countless people from the Beast Gate ran towards us. Everyone couldn't bear it, so they all retreated and ran towards the teleport array. But the man in black behind him gave an order, and all of them ran towards the transmission array. "Come on," Long Qingxie shouts out, and quickly commands the people behind him to run towards the teleportation array. They want to destroy the teleportation array again. All of them turned red in an instant, turned around and attacked the man in black behind them, and then continued to fly forward. We finally stood on the transmission array. When a white light flashed, we saw that in the human world, not far away, a black fight suddenly struck. Suddenly, the whole space had been distorted. Shangguan's face turns pale. He looks at the figures of Nangong, and others around him, and suddenly disappears in front of his eyes. Then there is a twist. His eyes are dark. After a while, all the people around them disappeared and disappeared. Mengbai looked at the distorted space in front of him, and almost instinctively went back to pull Qi into the night. But he was empty. There was no one around him. Suddenly, he fell into a strange darkness. "I'm afraid the transmission array has been destroyed by the people of the Beast Gate. Now it seems that everyone will be separated again." Somewhere in the college room, Yunwu sat on the bed, closed his eyes, and began to practice. Since discussing with the elders on that day, Yunwu has been arranged to stay here, but has not received any reply. Yunwu knows in her heart that her request is not so easy to be agreed, and she is afraid that she will be fried in those days. Yunwu doesn't worry. Anyway, it's not a 1-day or 2-day plan to deal with one woman. What do we do if we wait a few more days? As long as the elders can agree to help themselves, it doesn't matter if they wait another month or 2. Therefore, Yunwu is calm. When he stays in the room, he practices quietly and takes a stroll in the school park from time to time. Guide the younger generation. I just don't know what's wrong with Yunwu today. I just feel as if something is going to happen. After entering the cultivation state, I can't settle down. What's the matter today? Cloud Dance retreated from the cultivation state, frowned, and said, "How can you be restless all the time? Is there something else going on?" And the heart head once had this idea. What Cloud Dance thought of for the first time is Long Ching Xie and others who are far away in another world. But when I think about it, there are few beasts in the place where they are now. What danger can they face? What's more, their strength is not low. Yunwu comforts himself, but don't think much about it. Just then, the door of the room was knocked. Little Dance, the voice of the night, came suddenly, with a little anxiety. "Xiaowu, come out quickly. The elders told you to go there." Cloud Dance along, and the heart can't help but think of, difficult don't you just feel, is because the elder has the result of discussion. But is the result good or bad? I put myself aside for several days, but I didn't pay any attention to myself. I'm afraid those elders are discussing this matter day and night. At the moment, Yunwu went directly to the door and opened the door. "What do the elders call me? Do you know?" Cloud Dance, some anxious ask away. "You used to know. In fact, I don't know. I just look at the elders' faces. Xiaowu, you have to think about it. If they don't agree, how can you persuade them? The night is not central, some dignified say." Yunwu frowned and spoke for a long time. "Soldiers come to block the situation. Water comes to cover the ground. Anyway, I hope I can convince them. Let's go." With that, they went to the conference hall together. Along the way, both of them were in a hurry. When they arrived at the council hall, they found that the elders had been waiting for their arrival. Even this time, they were more complete than the last time. "Here comes the little Dance. Come here and sit down." 5 elder take the lead to stand up. Looking at Cloud Dance's eyes have a kind of unspeakable meaning. Cloud Dance in the heart clap denge, but on the face is not startled. Light nod, say, "Good." They looked at each other and sat down one after another. Then the elder sitting on the first seat waved his hand and said to the servants in the room, "You all step back first. No one is allowed to come in without my order." Hearing the sound, Yunwu looked up fiercely. The elder sitting on the first seat is actually the old pagoda he has never seen since he came back. "Old tower. You." Cloud Dance, shocked, said. Half a sentence, even said not complete. The old tower's face is not as serious as other elders. Instead, he looks at Yunwu with a faint smile and nods. "Don't be so surprised. Recently, what we are discussing here is about the life and death of all human beings. How can I be absent? Come on, tell me your reason." Cloud Dance nodded seriously, and then said, "Before giving my reasons, I would like to ask the elders of the college, what are your reasons for not willing?" The elders didn't expect that Yunwu turned against the guests and asked them, "You girl." 5 elder helplessly smile, touched beard, say, "Good. Since you want to ask our reason, though we tell you, you can listen to good. We're not the only elders in the college. If we only represent ourselves, or you come to ask us to help you, then we old guys are willing to help you, but we can't represent those students. There's no way to make a big fuss when dealing with things like the 10,000 Beast Gate, because now the human world has been controlled by the 10,000 Beast Gate. If we act rashly, maybe we will be directly discovered by the 10,000 Beast Gate before we act, and then we will attack on a large scale. We are not opponents. The college has gone through many days. How many predecessors have worked hard to reach its present status? Every elder here loves it from the bottom of his heart, and every student in the college. We can't just watch it disappear into the war. Elders one by one will not be able to agree with the reasons said. It seems that each is so irrefutable. Cloud Dance sits at the bottom and listens quietly. The night at one side has long been burning with anxiety. How can Cloud Dance not say a few words? Is it necessary for the elders to refuse with these reasons? But Yi Weiyang turns to see that Yunwu doesn't have any expression on her face, which makes people unable to guess her mind. Yi Weiyang thinks that maybe he is too anxious. Then he took a deep breath and continued to listen to the elders say all kinds of reasons. In a word, we must be responsible for the college and students. If you have enough reasons or strength to protect the college and students, we will not object. In the end, the elders gave such a reason. Yu Yang took a little sigh of relief. Fortunately, He didn't kill him with a stick. Just relying on the power of Cloud Dance. Can we really do it? I can't give you a guarantee. The cold voice of Cloud Dance rings out faintly. People can't help but take a breath of cool air. This Cloud Dance can say so justifiably. Night, not the heart of Yang, all pull up. Wish to go up directly to cover the mouth of Cloud Dance. It's so clear that she can't give her guarantee so simply. Doesn't she really want to get support? But then Cloud Dance said, but I want to ask you a question. Are you willing to take refuge in the Gate of Beasts? What the hell are you talking about? A grumpy elder directly glared at his eyes and said, our cultivation has always been to uphold justice. The beast sect is full of evils. How can we be with them? Oh, Cloud Dance pick eyebrow said, that if one day you elders are forced to a dead end, your relatives, disciples, and even the whole world have fallen into their hands. Will you give in? Even if everyone gives in, we will never give in. The pharmacist elder said coldly, with a light in his eyes. In that case, I'll tell you. The voice of Cloud Dance returns to calm again. The ambition of the Beast Gate is not just about which sect or world. What they want is to be the king of all people, not only human beings, but also other races in the world. Now, I have united the Phoenix, the Dragon, the Fire Beast, and other races. All the races who have been persecuted by the 10,000 beasts are willing to stand up and fight against the 10,000 beasts. At this time, their consideration is no longer whether they can defeat the Beast Gate. Their consideration is that their race will not be persecuted by the Beast Gate at last. You can stand on the opposite side of the Beast Gate. Even if it is full of blood, you can also be proud they are more aware that the power of the Beast Gate is too huge. If they don't unite, they can only watch the Beast Gate grow day by day. Everyone hopes that a hero can be born and get rid of the Beast Gate, but it can't be a hero at all. Even a real hero must have the support of many races behind him. So they became part of the hero, and all of them joined together. That's the real hero, a hero who is expected to get rid of the Beast Gate. I don't have the strength to protect the college, because once the war starts, all parts of the world will be involved. I can't guarantee that I can protect everyone. However, as long as the people in our alliance are willing to fight against the Beast Gate, I will use my greatest strength to make them stronger until I can stand on the opposite side of the Beast Gate. Yunwu's eyes are amazing, and his eyes are shining with strong fighting spirit. He doesn't feel how difficult it is to deal with the Beast Gate. Everyone on the scene put their eyes on her. At this moment, they only felt that what Yunwu said was so infectious and deeply moved everyone on the scene. It seemed that as long as she was there, they would be able to defeat the Beast Gate. Pa pa pa! A burst of applause. Old Tower slowly stood up from his seat, with a kind smile on his face toward Yunwu. Yunwu looked at the Old Tower and walked up to him. He put out a strong hand and patted her on the shoulder. He said with a sincere heart, "Future generations are formidable. Future generations are formidable." Cloud Dance's eyes brightened and said, "Old Tower, do you agree?" T.A. Lau chuckled. "Yes, actually I have agreed long ago. I just want to hear your opinion." Cloud Dance along, in the heart, immediately understand come over oneself as is played. On one side of the night, Wei Yong breathed a sigh of relief and finally successfully completed the task. It's just, Xiao Wu, you have to remember that you can't tell anyone about it. There are many people in the college, and the influence is too complicated. If the news is revealed, Cloud Dance nodded. Don't worry, I have a sense of propriety in this matter. That's good. Tower old satisfaction of a nod. You do things, or so reassuring. Cloud Dance mouth a hook. In fact, the Old Tower, there's a word I did not say. Oh, the elders browed. What's the matter? If one day we fail, do you think the Beast Gate will let go those who don't take refuge in them? With these words, the elders no longer have any doubts. Each of them vowed to die that they would not join the Beast Gate, so sooner or later they would have a fight with the Beast Gate. Instead of fighting alone at that time, it would be better to give their own strength from now on. The elders looked at Yunwu and nodded in succession. They agreed with her very much. Cloud Dance breathed a sigh of relief, and the task in the college was finally successfully completed. He turned his head and looked out at the blue sky outside the window. The clouds danced around the corner of his mouth, and then he could go to fetch them back the next day. Yunwoo said goodbye to several elders and his former friends. Before he left, he did not forget to visit Premier Chiemo. In the yard, Chiemo sits in the pavilion enjoying flowers and tea as usual, as if waiting for the arrival of Cloud Dance. Leaving today, feel the arrival of Cloud Dance. Chiemo head also don't lift of say, hand but need of brew a cup of tea, put in the opposite. Well, I should have left now, but I came back to have a look before I said goodbye to you. Cloud Dance impolitely sat on the opposite side of Chiemo and drank the tea in front of him. Well, this college is doomed to keep you. Your sky is big. Chiemo Light said, looking up at the cloud, suddenly want to ask the person's situation, but the words to the mouth or swallow. Take care of yourself in the future. I'll take care of some of my friends. Chiemo corner of the mouth a hook. Don't worry about it. They are one by one excited. Still need me to take care of? After that, they both looked at each other and laughed. Where are you going next? Chiemo opens his mouth to ask away. My friends haven't been here yet. I've come to lead the way. Now I'm going to go and gather with them. Cloud Dance said with a smile, thinking that we will see them again soon. We can't wait. With such an expression in Chiemo's eyes, he instantly realized that the friend in Yunwoo's mouth might be more than a friend. At the moment, Chiemo doesn't say anything. After a few words with her, Yunwoo looks up at the sky. It's too late. If you don't leave, you'll stay for lunch. Cloud Dance said, then toward Chiemo nodded, figure a flash, directly disappeared in front of Chiemo. How happy it is to be able to work with people who love each other. Chiemo, looking at the opposite Cloud Dance, just used the tea. The heart does not know what to think. After leaving the college, Yunwoo went to the entrance of the human world while avoiding the pursuit of the Beast Gate. When Yunwoo came back to the entrance of the human world, he saw that the entrance of the whole human world was in a mess, covered with the bodies of people in black and a mess of fighting traces. But the friends who had made an appointment to meet again disappeared. Cloud Dance alone. How is this to return a responsibility? According to the agreed time, they should have been waiting for themselves here. Is something wrong? But their strength is so high, what can happen? All of a sudden, Yunwoo remembered that there was a teleportation array nearby, which could let him go back. Since he was so worried and didn't know what they were doing, he might as well go back and have a look. So Yunwoo hurried to the transmission array, but when he got to the transmission array, he found that the transmission array had been completely damaged. Yunwoo's secret is not good. I'm afraid that his friends have been poisoned. Now he knows that this may be a trap of the Beast Gate. He pretends that he doesn't know their plan. Let them gather at the entrance of the human world, and then catch them all. My heart is thinking about how to deal with the next thing, but I feel a kind of foreboding, almost out of instinctive reaction. Yunwoo immediately wrapped his whole body with luck and fighting spirit. Then he quickly turned his head and looked behind him. At this time, he saw that countless beast men had sprung up behind him. Yunwoo didn't care in her heart, but wrapped her fighting spirit in her palm. Facing the Cloud Dance in the Wuling realm, the minions of the Beast Gate never fear, and they all attack in the direction of the Cloud Dance. Yunwoo just wrapped the fighting spirit in his hand. Almost without any effort, he had already beaten the minions in front of him and vomited blood. Yunwoo doesn't know why the people of the 10,000 Beasts sect send such unbearable men, but they don't want to think much about it. They quickly get rid of the minions around them. The city is under the pressure of black clouds. The black sky covers the entrance of the whole human world. The entrance of the whole human world is filled with the air of extermination. Yunwoo is worried about his friends and doesn't love to fight. He just doesn't hesitate to kill the men around him and doesn't give them a chance. But looking around, there was no one at the entrance of the human world except the black people, which made Yunwoo very puzzled, wondering why they disappeared here so quickly. Soon, there was blood dripping at the entrance of the human world, all of which were the corpses of the men of beasts. Just at this time, Yunwoo suddenly heard a burst of laughter from the human access port. The laughter was so arrogant that it seemed to spread all over the world. All of a sudden, A strong atmosphere attacked the cloud dance. Pressure of cloud dance can't help but frown. Thought in the heart, this must be not a simple role, so more careful. All of a sudden, there was a burst of noise from behind the minions. Yunwu looked up and saw a black-robed body. The whole person, who was covered with black chi, was flying towards himself. Cloud Dance quickly vacates the big knife of Guwu, can't help but frown and chop toward the direction of 10,000 Beast Door. But the people of the Beast Gate seem to have been on guard for a long time. Countless people in black suddenly changed their formation and formed an incomprehensible square array, which forcefully blocked the attack of Yunwu. It's so easy to block my attack. Cloud Dance staggers backward 2 steps. Just now his fierce attack was unexpectedly they abruptly bounced back, let one self-tiger mouth pain. Yunwu frowned tightly, and she realized that things were not as simple as she thought. When she heard that someone was coming from behind, another burst of pressure came towards Yunwu. Yunwu was nervous in his heart. He quickly wrapped his fighting spirit around his whole body and stepped back 2 steps. He wanted to distance himself from the black people, and he was on guard. Suddenly, a man came from behind the man in black and stood in front of Yunwu. This man was so black that Yunwu couldn't see his face clearly, but the pressure from him made Yunwu frown. It didn't look like a simple roll. Ooh! Yunwu frowned and was very careful, but he heard each other laughing twice. He stepped forward 2 steps to Yunwu and said with a sneer, "You don't need to know who I am. You just need to know that you can't escape now." Gusts of wind whistling past, rolled up the yellow sand on the ground. Lost the Cloud's eyes, he quickly narrowed his eyes, with his hands to block, blowing yellow sand, but through the fingers to see the person in front of him has come quickly, picked up the weapon in his hand and stabbed him. How fast? Yunwu sighed in his heart. He turned around and dodged the attack of the man in front of him. He cut the knife to the chest of the man in black in front of him with his backhand. But the man in black in front of him sneered and patted it with his palm. Suddenly, the knife on Yunwu's hand was shocked and bounced back. What Yunwu is most worried about is not the person in front of him, but the person standing behind him. He doesn't say a word and stares at Yunwu with cold eyes. But the powerful atmosphere makes Cloud Dance daunting. In her heart, she felt as if she knew the person behind him, the familiar feeling. But no matter how Cloud Dance, I didn't remember. It's mean of you two to hit me alone. The Cloud dances coldly. But before Yunwu had time to say the following words, he saw the man in black in front of him suddenly leap up and chop towards Yunwu. But the man behind him still stood there, silent and didn't help. Yunwu, do you want to know where your friends are? Black arrogant smile. Toward Yunwu, a knife to cut. Yunwu was nervous, but he didn't answer. He just carefully avoided the attack of the people in black, while the people in black behind him kept changing the square array, which dazzled Yunwu for a moment. I'll tell you, I kill them all. The man is very arrogant smile, looking at Cloud Dance eyes full of scarlet. Cloud Dance curled his lips, but he didn't believe it at all in his heart. He said coldly, "It seems that you have already expected that we will come to the human world now." Raise a knife to cut to the man's shoulder, but the man is just smile easy to avoid. After a while, there were 6 or 7 people in black, but the one who came at the beginning didn't move at all and still stood on one side coldly. Little Stink, come out. The Cloud dances softly to call away, not for a long time. In the sky, a burst of sharp call sound. Small Stink glides down in the sky. Attack toward the eyes of the man in black and go. The man in black suddenly raised his hand and patted him. He turned around and flew up to the sky. Yunwu laughed and suddenly raised the road to a man in black. With all his strength, the black man's face changed. He felt the huge blade coming towards him, and his heart was awe-inspiring. But the little Stink on his head had leaped down again, and the black man's face suddenly changed. On the one hand, he wanted to meet the attack of Yunwu. On the other hand, he wanted to connect with the attack of Xiaoqiu. The man in black sweated and rushed to deal with it, but Yunwu didn't give him a chance to escape, and a smile of victory suddenly appeared on his lips. A scarlet flash in front of me. Before I could see anything clearly, the man in black had already separated his head and neck. Cloud Dance pulled aside a sneer, and there was no sympathy in his eyes. Turn to look at the person behind him. He is still standing there coldly. Yunwoo wonders why she is so cold and heartless. Is it difficult that these people are not his subordinates? However, I was relieved to think of the terrible things that the Beast Gate had done, so I beat back the people in front of them with a backhand knife and quickly cut them down toward the person behind them. Turn to look around. Those people in black have been almost solved by Little Stink. Then turn to the humanity in black in front of them. Your people are almost dead and wounded. Do you want to stand by? The man in black still didn't respond, didn't speak, and didn't have an expression, but he suddenly raised his hand and grabbed at Yunwoo. At this time, the man in black had already carried up the fighting spirit of black. Yunwoo realized at this time that this man did not have a strong realm. The heart immediately relaxed a lot, then toward the palm of the person in black cut in the past. At this moment, another person flew out from the direction of the entrance of the human world. The appearance of this man made Yunwoo frown. Before the knife he cut at the man in black came close to the black man, he was suddenly defeated by a huge force. And this person's strong aura made Yunwoo realize that this person was either Shangwen's Hong or Shangwanli. Because the man who comes out of it, Yunwoo can't see what realm he is. This makes Yunwoo even more nervous, but the black minions in front of him still put on all kinds of strange array, and they can't escape from Yunwoo. Cloud Dance's heart is not good. She hurriedly looking for the exit of the array, but she can't find where the array eye is. Suddenly feel a cold wind behind. Yunwoo heart sink. Want to turn around to avoid, but it's too late. Only the person before meeting with lightning suddenly came to Yunwoo in front of, to Yunwoo chest hard clap. It's Shangwen's Hong. Cloud Dance thinks in the heart. But the person in front of her is so fast that she has no time to dodge. She can only watch this person's palm pat her chest. All of a sudden, the cloud danced like a kite with broken line and flew back. After several mouthfuls of blood, it could not stand up. Only heard in front of the people coldly said, "Take her away from me." The man in black came to Yunwoo behind him, ready to reach out and pull Yunwoo up. But just when he touched Yunwoo's arm, Yunwoo waved it away. Yunwoo wiped the blood from his mouth, coughed twice, and vomited the blood out of his mouth. Then he raised his head and looked coldly at Shangwen's Hong in front of him. Several people in black around them had already been shaken away, and Yunwoo stood up in a fierce manner. The huge atmosphere sent out by his whole body made the legs of some low-level minions tremble. Cloud danced cold humme toward the direction of the official grave. "You'd better give up. You hit him." Next to a man in black, very arrogant, said. But Yunwoo didn't give him a chance. He raised his hand and suddenly lifted the stone on the ground and smashed it in the direction of the man in black. Before the eyes of the man in black met, countless flying stones were startled and quickly raised their hands to stop. However, Yunwoo's strength was too strong. These stones, like knives, penetrated deeply into the flesh of the man in black. The man in black screamed, and his voice rang through the entrance of the world. Shangwen's Hong lightly glanced at the man in black. He seemed to think he was very noisy. He suddenly raised his hand and grabbed him. With a click, the man in black immediately lost his voice and his head tilted to one side. At this time, Shangwen's Hong turned to see Yunwoo, but he didn't say a word. He suddenly raised his hand and grabbed it in the direction of Yunwoo. Yunwoo was nervous in his heart, and he was in a hurry to resist. However, Shangwen's Hong was too strong in front of him. He felt invisible pressure coming towards him, and his body could not help flying towards Shangwen's Hong. Yunwoo clenched his teeth, raised his hand to wrap the fighting spirit in his palm, and patted it towards Shangwen's Hong. This time he had exhausted all his strength. But before meeting, Shangwen's Hong just glanced at her lightly, raised another palm, and patted it toward Yunwoo's palm. Cloud Dance is nervous and knows the power of Shangwen's Hong, so she pulls her hand to avoid Shangwen's Hong's attack. The thunder element is wrapped in the ancient sword and cuts it in the direction of Shangwen's Hong, but there was no chance for her to attack him. She raised her hand and grabbed Yunwoo's neck. Suddenly, Yunwoo's face turned red, and she couldn't breathe. She clenched her teeth and raised her hand, trying to gather lay element on her hand and pat Shang Wentong's chest. The corner of Shang Wentong's mouth stirred up a cold smile. He didn't pay attention to Yunwoo's action, but his hand's action pinched more tightly. Yunwoo opens her mouth and desperately wants to breathe, but Shang Wentong raises her hand and throws her aside. Suddenly, her body flies out and falls in front of the people in black. The people in black quickly push Yunwoo to the ground. 3-5 divided by 2. Several people in black behind have tied up the cloud dance without the slightest fight back. At this time, Yunwoo only felt the severe pain of the whole body. The bones of the whole body seemed to be falling apart, and the eyes were blurred, and the little stink had been beaten bloody. Yunwoo recalls Xiaoqiu with difficulty. In a trance, she feels that several people behind her are pushing and shoving toward the front with their arms. After a while, a group of people pushed Yunwoo into an extremely damp dungeon, and then Yunwoo heard the sound of closing the door. She breathed in her heart and knew that she would not be in any danger now. So she closed her eyes and concentrated on recovering. Who did this man catch? Why are you so strict? Yunwoo heard the sound from outside the dungeon. You don't know that? I can tell you. This man has to watch. This is the man that our sect master himself captured. Don't let him go. Another beast man said. What? Did the sect master catch it himself? People were so surprised that some even wanted to see what kind of people could let Shang Wentong do it himself. Go and see. I can tell you that this man was arrested by the headmaster and the deputy headmaster for a long time, but they didn't catch him back. Originally, the headmaster was not happy. Now the headmaster himself caught him back and ordered him to take strict care of him. If you let her escape because of your reasons, you won't want to live. Do you hear me? Said one of the leaders. Yes, we must be careful. The other 10,000 beast men answered quickly. Then the sound of footsteps sounded and everyone left one by one, leaving only a few people in charge of the guard. At this time, the cloud dance cannot help but breathe a sigh of relief. Originally, I thought Shang Wentong would abolish or kill himself directly, but I almost came to ask myself directly. Now it seems that I just want to lock myself up. I think I also want to wait for myself to slow down and ask again. At this time, with the departure of those beast men, the dungeon was finally quiet. There was no more sound in the whole dungeon, only the panting of clouds. At this time, Yunwoo didn't feel anxious and depressed because she was caught in the dungeon. She even felt lucky that although she was seriously injured, she now had a place to practice meditation and let her recover quickly. So Yunwoo sat quietly in the dungeon, recovering her physical strength and thinking about what happened before. Originally, a large group of people agreed to meet here, but they suddenly disappeared when they were about to meet. The teleportation array was destroyed by the people of the Beast Gate, which is enough to show that the dragon at that time must have wanted to escape by using the teleportation array. And there are traces of fighting at the scene, so it seems that they have indeed been obstructed. Think of here, Cloud Dance can't help a burst of chagrin. Why did he want to let them come together? If what we said before was that those who inquired about the situation would go back to meet them, we would not be separated from them. Yunwoo suddenly thought of the friends who had been exiled all over the world because of the destruction of the transmission array, and suddenly felt nervous. The war is coming, but everyone is suddenly scattered. I don't know how far away it is. Originally, it was not easy to escape the pursuit of the Beast Gate. But now I met Shang Wentong, and I was caught again. I entered the dungeon and was injured. If I go on like this, I'm afraid my next plan and effort will be in vain. I managed to gather a lot of forces. They all rely on and believe in themselves. How can I fail them? Yunwoo was silent. He gritted his teeth in his heart and said, Never let these people down. Now the most important thing is to cultivate quickly, to heal your wounds, and to get into the best condition as soon as possible. So Yunwoo clenched his teeth, frowned, and practiced seriously. He bowed his head to meditate. After a week's exploration of qi and fortune, he saw that although he was seriously injured, he didn't get hurt inside. It was obvious that Shang Wentong didn't give up his hand, which made Yunwoo sigh and repair the damaged meridians in a hurry. I don't know when the power of evil bite in the body has automatically played a role. It's penetrating into the veins and repairing the deformity. With the help of the power of magic bite, the cloud dance practice can get twice the result with half the effort. Although this force is not easy to control, it is still very useful at the critical moment. At this time, the cloud dance can't help but be glad that it has this power. Gradually, the whole person of Yunwu fell into the cultivation and was totally unaware of the things outside. One night later, no one came to ask Yunwu about anything, but occasionally a jailer came to have a look, and then someone brought some cold food. It's cold and humid in the dungeon at night. Yunwu opens her eyes and looks at the food in front of her. She frowns, purses her mouth, and closes her eyes. There was no one close to watch her, and the nearest one was at the gate. It seemed that she was not afraid to escape from prison. In the early morning of the second day, the light sunlight was projected through the skylight, but there was still silence, no sound. Dinner. The jailer in charge of the guard's voice came. He was holding a plate with some cold food on it. He didn't even want to help. Yunwu opened his eyes and looked at the dungeon door. Then he saw a jailer come in to have a look. Why? Haven't you eaten yesterday's? That's just right. Save it. The jailer said lazily. Seeing that there was food on the plate in Yunwu's cell, he yawned and turned away with the plate on his hand. Yunwu doesn't understand why these people don't intend to come to question themselves. Up to now, the indifferent attitude shown by all the people makes Yunwu confused. He grabs himself, but doesn't move. I thought about it, but I still couldn't understand it. I sighed and continued to close my eyes. But another day passed, but there was still no movement here. Cloud dances very puzzled. Stand up, looked at the outside of the cell, but see no one outside, empty dungeon. Anybody, Yunwu tried to shout out. She seemed to be the only prisoner in the big, open dungeon. Yunwu didn't believe that the dungeon of the Beast Gate would be so lonely. He was afraid that the place where he stayed was separated from the place where others were imprisoned. After waiting for a long time, no one came. Yunwu breathed, sat down again, and continued to practice. Until the night of the third day, Yunwu finally heard the sound of someone walking outside the cell. When he opened his eyes, he saw Shangwen's Hong was still cold. There were several people behind him. His whole body was gloomy. Yunwu could not help frowning. This kind of feeling on them was too uncomfortable. Cloud dance. The voice of Shangwen's Hong echoes coldly in the open dungeon, looking at the cloud dance with an undisguised murderous air. Cloud dance pick eyebrow, heartway. Finally come? What? Finally think of me? I really thought you were just trying to get me. Cloud dance corner of the mouth, a hook. Indifference of say, seem to have never put on the official grave in the eye. The 10,000 beast men behind Shangwen's Hong shivered one after another. No wonder this woman can let the patriarch do it in person. This arrogant attitude can't be done by anyone. Shangwen's Hong's face was more ugly. He wanted to go up and kill her directly, but he still insisted and asked in a deep voice, "Where's the holy thing of the witch family?" Cloud Dance raised his head, a light look at the Shangwen's Hong in front of him, but he didn't feel afraid of the cold face of Shangwen's Hong. But after a glance, he closed his eyes again, as if he didn't pay attention to him at all. If it wasn't for the difficult situation, he didn't look like a prisoner. Old friends don't talk about their families when they meet. It's really chilling to talk about business as soon as they come up. There's a trace of ridicule in the words of Yunwu. On the surface, although the clouds are light and the wind is light, in fact, Yunwu has already made clear the strength around him when Shangwen's Hong appeared. In addition to Shangwen's Hong, there are two jailers standing at the entrance of the dungeon. The strength of the two jailers is in the realm of wuxing. This time, there are 5 other people brought by Shangwen's Hong. 3 of them are Wuzun realm, and 2 of them are Wuzong. Yunwu glanced at the corner of his mouth and thought, if there is not a Shangwen's Hong standing here, otherwise the strength of these people is really not enough. I don't know if it's because I think she's hurt and has no strength to escape, or I'm not worried that she will escape at all. Standing in the dark, Shangwen's Hong's face changed when he heard Yunwu's provocative words. In the end, he just gave a cold, ironic hum, without any extra reaction. Dark and cold from the body of Shang Wenhong. At the same time, there's a strong pressure, like a demonstration for themselves. Cloud Dance deeply frowns, and the heart is very vigilant. She knows, in front of this person, his present strength is unable to deal with. Shang Wenhong did not speak, but nodded to the people around him. As a result, the two jailers around Shang Wenhong immediately understood what he meant. They pushed open the cell door and went in. They reached out and caught Yunwu. Cloud Dance watched the two jailers coming towards him and couldn't help sneering. Do you think they will be my opponents? After being locked up in this dungeon for several days, Yunwu's injuries had already recovered. Although he couldn't fight Shang Wenhong, it was more than enough to deal with these people. As soon as Yunwu's words were finished, the two jailers had already come to her and impolitely stretched out their hands to grasp Yunwu's arm and take her. Cloud Dance's eyes are cold, and its speed is extreme. It was the two jailers who moved their hand a moment ago, but the attack of Clinker Cloud Dance was the first. The figure moved rapidly and flashed out directly from the encirclement of the two jailers. At the next moment, Yunwu reached out with both hands and grasped the arms of the two beastmen. His eyes were cold and his hands were twisted. I heard a click, and the two arms broke off together. A dash! The two jailers screamed and looked at Yunwu. Only then did they show a look of panic. It was not so easy for Shang Wenhong to catch the people himself. Cloud Dance gave a cold hum, took the hands of the two jailers, threw them forward, and then directly threw them back to Shang Wenhong. His eyes were full of disgust. Well, here you are. Shang Wenhong's face was very ugly, and he didn't say anything. The jailer who had lost one hand on the ground had already been scared out of his courage. He quickly climbed up to Shang Wenhong's body and kowtowed busily. Lord, please forgive me, Lord. Cloud Dance eyebrows pick, is thinking clearly is their own maimed, but why they want a Shang Wenhong for mercy. See Shang Wenhong brow wrinkled, coldly said, waste. Later, Shang Wenhong didn't lift his hand, just a few fingers trembled slightly, and then he saw the black fog coming out from between his fingers, slowly wrapping the two jailers. Cloud Dance opened his eyes, did not expect Shang Wenhong also liked to use this move. This is like his two P's at the front door of the college, but it was only a common man at that time. But the Shangwan Tomb was so vicious to his own staff. No wonder the two jailers were so afraid of him. When the two prisoners kneeling on the ground saw the appearance of the black fog, a look of panic appeared on their faces. They wanted to run away directly, but their bodies seemed to be frozen, and they could only shiver in the same place. The black fog was not fast, just like torturing them. Shang Wenhong was not worried at all, and his expression had not changed since just now. In the gloomy dungeon, the screams of the two jailers, who were gradually wrapped in the black fog, resounded through it, making the environment in the dungeon more gloomy. Good means? Cloud Dance coldly said, looking at the two jailers in the black fog under the package. Face panic look like falling into hell in general. When the skin on the body comes into contact with the black fog, it immediately makes a zzzzy corrosive sound. This cruel scene has been staged in front of a whole cup of tea. The two jailers just died in front of Yunwu. The scream disappeared, and the whole dungeon fell into a dead silence again. The cloud dances, the eyes are cold. It's clear that Shang Wenhong can directly cut those two people and give them a simple answer. But she chose to torture to death. How could she not know Shang Wenhong's intention of doing this? It was just to set an example to others. She was afraid that she would deal with herself next. The bodies of the two people on the ground disappeared completely, and the black fog dispersed. There was no trace of the two people on the ground, and all the bones and clothes were corroded. Where are the sacred things of the witch clan? Shang Wenhong's vision returned to Yunwu's body, and his voice was still cold, as if what had just happened had nothing to do with him. Yunwu took a deep breath and thought, do you want to scare me with this method? Don't you look down on me? At present, he was still unmoved. He raised his head and looked directly at Shang Wenhong. His voice was arrogant and cold. Do you think it's necessary to ask this kind of question? So you don't want to say it? Shang Wenhong asked coldly. But some underestimated this woman, saw such a scene, but did not even pick eyebrows, as expected hard amazing. Cloud Dance sneers. Even if I die, I won't let you know. After hearing this, Shang Wenhong couldn't help frowning, and his cold suddenly came out. He suddenly took a step forward, and his dark face suddenly came very close to Yunwu, which made Yunwu startled, but didn't move. He carefully looked at Shang Wenhong in front of him. I see Shang Wenhong smile. I don't know if it's the reason why he hasn't laughed for a long time. It's a smile, but makes Yunwu feel uncomfortable. You think about it? Don't toast, don't drink. Do you think I was my way just now? Scaring me. I think you can save it. Means? If you have any other means, just do it. The cloud dances like nothing happened and sighs to sit on the ground. But in my heart, I have already begun to be on guard. After all, the man in front of me is not easy to provoke. Shang Wenhong looked at Yunwu for a long time. Suddenly, a gloomy smile came up at the corner of his mouth, and he turned around to hook his fingers to other people in black. Several people in black came up to Shang Wenhong immediately. Take her away, Shang Wenhong said coldly. Several people in black looked at each other, but they didn't dare to neglect each other. They quickly walked towards the direction of Cloud Dance, all the way to the front of Yunwu, but they didn't dare to get close. Just a few people carefully around the Cloud Dance. You look at me, I look at you, and then look at the location of the two people who just died. There are a lot of thoughts in my heart. What are you dawdling about? Shang Wenhong's tone was very cold. Looking at the appearance of several people in black in front of him, he became more and more indifferent. I don't know if he was impatient. He knew what they were thinking when he saw the appearance of several people. Now Shang Wenhong just went into the dungeon. As soon as I raised my hand, I grabbed Yunwu's neck and pulled her up. Shang Wenhong's great strength lifts Yunwu up into the air. Yunwu closes her eyes and hits Shang Wenhong in front of her. But after all, it's in the dungeon, and Yunwu's strength has not been fully restored, and the punch has not fallen on Shang Wenhong, so it's directly blocked back. The next moment, Shang Wenhong's attack is directly on Yunwu's chest. Puff, sniff dash, Cloud Dance vomited out blood. His face turned pale instantly, obviously injured. He was carried by Shang Wenhong in his hand. Yunwu tried his best to bite his teeth. He didn't groan, and the blood trickled down the corner of his mouth. But Yunwu sneered and coughed violently. Shang Wenhong threw Yunwu on the ground and said coldly, "Don't think you can do whatever you want after you recover a little strength. Here, you can only let me control you." After that, Shang Wenhong waved his hand, and several people in black standing around him immediately went forward, pulled up the soft and sour Cloud Dance, took the rope, tied it carefully, and then threw it on the ground again. I think you're also a smart person. Shang Wenhong squatted down, looked down at the gnashing clouds in front of him, and said, "So, you should also understand what you will experience next. Finally, I will ask you again, where are the sacred objects of the Witch Clan?" Cloud Dance side head, looking in front of Shang Wenhong's face, a shadow, just blocking Shang Wenhong's face, looks ferocious, abnormal. You don't say? So, do you want to taste the fine wine? The sound of Shang Wenhong was very hoarse and terrible in the dungeon. Yunwu doesn't speak, but lies on the ground with a bitter smile in his heart. The holy things of the Witch Clan? I don't know what it is or where it is, so I don't know. But this kind of words to Shang Wenhong, he would not believe it. What do you think I'll tell you where this holy thing is? Cloud Dance Light said, lowered his eyes, looking at the wet ground. The voice is very soft. Do you think I will be that kind of person? Shang Wenhong was stunned for a long time, as if he had just reacted. Suddenly, he stood up and laughed. The laughter reverberated in the whole dungeon. Come on, take it away. Shang Wenhong said that the people in black around him rudely pulled Yunwu up from the ground. Yunwu felt that he didn't have any strength, so he could only let a few people drag him out of the cell. The whole cell was silent. When passing through the places where other prisoners were held, they saw that they were separated from other people. At this time, those people saw her without saying a word, just staring at Yunwu and others who were taken away in front of her. originally thought he would be taken out, but the clinker cloud dance was gradually brought to the ground, not even the door of the dungeon. While Yunwu was taken down by several people, he secretly wrote down the place. Gradually, the more she walked, the colder she felt. The cold wind was piercing, and the moist feeling made Yunwu tremble. She looked at the place she was led to. You may not know what's down there yet. Shangwen's Hong walked in front, without looking back, but said faintly that layers of torches were lit, leading to the endless darkness underground. Cloud Dance did not reply, but not long, but heard from the ground bursts of fierce calls. This kind of sound makes Yunwu frown. Before entering, there was a pungent smell of putrefaction coming from the underground. Shangwen's Hong turned his head, glanced at Yunwu, and went on. Push open a cell door. Shangwen's Hong orders people to drag Yunwu in and tie it to the pillar in the center of the cell. The pillar is very thick, and the Cloud Dance is tied on it in a big shape. The whole body is exposed in front of Shangwen's Hong. Shangwen's Hong walked slowly to Yunwu, looked at Yunwu with his head down, and said nothing, and sneered twice. Are you still not going to say it? You know, this is the place where the punishment is the heaviest. Yunwu raised her eyes and looked at Shangwen's Hong with a smile. Shangwen's Hong's face was very gloomy at this time. He didn't expect that Cloud Dance was so difficult. He gave a cold hum and nodded to the people around him. I saw the people around me take out a whip from the cabinet next to me. On the whip, there are other people's blood. Pah! Of a crisp ring, Cloud Dance inverted took a cold breath. Looked down. The body has appeared a long blood from the clothes inside soaked out. I have only one question today. If you answer it, you can have a good sleep tonight. If you don't, there are countless people here who can interrogate you in shifts. We have many ways to force you to say the answer to this question. A man in black sat at his side, then raised a whip and hit Yunwu. Suddenly, a bloodstain appeared on Yunwu again. Yunwu tightly pursed her mouth and no longer made any sound. She only occasionally snorted with pain. Her body was full of bloodstains and fiery pain. She closed her eyes tightly and panted quickly. Her clothes were soaked with blood. The man in black didn't have the slightest pity. His eyes were full of ridicule and indifference. The whip was in his hand and said hello to Yunwu. Suddenly, his clothes were also broken. Yunwu almost couldn't breathe because of the pain. She bit her lips and didn't make any sound because these crazy people were happy to ask for mercy. After almost being hanged for a long time, Yunwu felt that his eyes were black and dizzy, and he couldn't see Shangwen's Hong clearly. Where are the sacred things of the witch family? A man in black said that he raised his hand and hit Yunwu with a whip, which made Yunwu shiver and numb. She gave a miserable smile. Even if she really wanted to say it, she had no strength. Shangwen's Hong was very clear. He raised his hand to let the man in black come back. He was covered with blood, and the dying clouds were dancing. He said, "We are tired too. Let's go back to have a rest and continue tomorrow." Therefore, the Cloud Dance's side momentarily returns to calm. She called softly, and the whole dungeon echoed everywhere. She let out a breath. A cold white breath came out of her mouth and disappeared into the darkness. She gave a wry smile. The pain on her body had numbed her a little. Looking around the dungeon where she was bound, there were similar cells in front of her. It was dark. Unlike the place where she had just started, there was still daylight. Now it was only cold and dark. She bowed her head and felt that although she was sleepy, the pain on her body made her unable to sleep. She moved her body hard, but found that the shackles of their own chain closed them more tight. She showed some pain in the faint, had to give up the struggle. But what she worries about most now is the friends and teams who have made an appointment to meet at the entrance of the human world. Now they're all lost. She worries about what's wrong with them. She also worries that they will rush into the human world before the big army finds out that some of them have disappeared, especially Long Qingxia. If he knew his own situation, he would search for himself regardless of his own safety. Helpless vomit tone, shake head, secretly laugh at oneself how now, sentimental up. So think, eyes firm up again, a cold smile, no matter how to say, certainly can't be indecisive here. First, how to get out of here. Yunwoo closed his eyes and looked around his body. Most of the injuries were internal injuries, but only the one hit by Shangwen's Hong, just now. Rushed to pour the fighting qi into the damaged meridians and repair them quietly. If you follow the current situation, even if you have the opportunity to leave, you can't leave safely. In this way, one night, cold underground, Cloud, quietly healing, do not want anything. Until the next morning, just open his eyes, Yunwoo saw Shangwen's Hong and his men coming slowly not far ahead. With a squeak, the heavy wooden door was opened, and Shangwen's Hong came in slowly. Looking at Yunwoo with a sneer in his eyes, his voice was cold. How? Do you want to say something? At this time, Yunwoo's internal injury was better, and his strength was a little strong. He raised his head to look at Shangwen's Hong, and raised his mouth slightly. That's nature. For words just finished, Shangwen's Hong's eyes obviously lit up, impatient into a few steps, close to Yunwoo. Hurried way. Quick, where? Come closer, I'll tell you. Cloud, dance, evil smile, mysterious say. Shangwen's Hong had been worried about this for a long time. He came close and looked at Yunwoo. His eyes were shining. Speak quickly. Yunwoo nodded with a smile, lowered his head, approached Shangwen's Hong's ear, and said in a low voice, When I first came to the human world, I once escaped your surveillance and hid in a forest in the human world. Shangwen's Hong's breathing was suddenly rapid, and his eyes became eager when he looked at Yunwoo. Come on, where is the specific place? Shangwen's Hong took a step closer and looked at the clouds in front of him without blinking. I think you should know that you saw me in the forest. Cloud danced close to her ear, appears serious. I also, and your people there fight. Shangwen's Hong narrowed his eyes and nodded. At that time, I was under a tree and put down the sacred things of the witch clan. Yunwoo sneered coldly, with sarcasm in his tone. I knew you would catch me. You thought I would be so stupid, waiting for you to find the holy things of the witch family on me. Shangwen's Hong mouth hook suddenly raised his hand to hold Yunwoo chin. Well, head up, you'd better not cheat me. Then he took people out of the dungeon. Cloud Dance looked at Shangwen's Hong left back, vomited a breath, thought that finally to fool away. Suddenly I saw 3 men in black coming in outside the door. They untied her from the post and took her out. Where's this going? Cloud Dance asked. The man in black did not speak, but walked forward in silence. Yunwoo looked down and thought for a while, looked at the people around him, and felt as if there was no threat. He suddenly poured his fighting spirit into his feet and kicked a man in black around him. Sure enough, before the man in black could react, she was kicked away. She threw away another man in black with her backhand, knocked him unconscious with a knife, and ran to the front. Run! The woman ran away. There was a man in black shouting. Suddenly, the whole dungeon was noisy. It seems that all the guards in the dungeon have been informed. Slowly, the whole dungeon is full of people. Cloud Dance pursed her lips, and her face was cold. Now she wanted to rush out, but she didn't care. The man in black blocked the narrow path, but she turned her head and looked behind her. It was all people. Now she had to break through, though she didn't know where she was going. He hit the man in black in front of him, and suddenly he fell down. It's really vulnerable. Yunwoo thought that the people here are all at this level and continue to fly forward. Seeing another intersection in front of him, the cloud danced like a headless fly and ran on. Suddenly, a cold voice came from behind. You dare to cheat me. As soon as Yunwoo's heart sank, he was ready to turn back. He felt a huge amount of energy behind him. In an instant, he attacked himself and quickly turned around to clap his hand over there. But he saw that Shangwen's Hong turned back in front of him. He was shocked and stepped back 2 steps. Before he could stand still, Shangwen's Hong clapped his hand again. Yunwoo had no choice but to take a hard slap and fly backward in an instant. In front of a flower, Yunwoo took a cool breath, but he felt as if he had suddenly fallen into a hole and kept falling. In this way, I don't know how long it took before Cloud Dance finally fell to the ground. Fall of the moment. suddenly seen not far away in the shadow of a familiar figure. Snow Silver? Cloud Dance carefully sound. Looking at the shadow hidden in the dark, some can't believe it. The figure obviously moved for a moment and looked up in the direction of Cloud Dance. One stands in the dark, and the other stands in the light. Shuyin can clearly see the figure of Yunwu, but Yunwu can't see the expression on Shuyin's face. He just roughly sees an outline and guesses his action. Now Shuyin looks to himself. When his eyes fall on him, Yunwu is sure that this man is Shuyin. "You are Lady Snow Silver's." Voice trembled a little. Just after saying this sentence, she said, "No, you are Cloud Dance." Yunwu nodded, thinking that Shuyin could distinguish herself from Lin Yuntong. Then Snow Silver's figure came out from the darkness. I don't know if it was because he had been locked up here for a long time and no one was there. Now he was inexplicably close to one, or because he was worried about something he had told. "Why are you back? Did you come back for me on purpose?" Snow Silver's eyes twinkle with brilliant light, looking forward to the clouds. He even looked behind Yunwu, trying to find Lin Yuntong's figure. Yunwu scratched his head and said, "Well, I'm so sorry, Snow Silver alone. This just discover Cloud Dance of the body with all kinds of scars. The clothes on the body also damaged a lot." When Snow Silver blur out of the mouth asked, "You were captured by the Beast Gate?" Cloud Dance mouth corner smoke to smoke. What to call again? Why does it sound like she's always being caught? It's just the second time, okay. The second time? It's just that I happened to meet Shuyin twice at the moment. Cloud Dance has not had time to say anything. Just to see Snow Silver, shining eyes have been dim. "It seems that you're not going well outside at all." Snow Silver lowered her eyes and said, in the heart extremely worried about his wife. Only saw the Cloud Dance disappearance. He also knew that he was some strong person difficult. The world is big. Who knows where his wife has gone? Yunwu coughed and said, "Actually, it's not going well, but there's hope." Shuyin gave a bitter smile, shook her head and said, "Don't comfort me. I've been trapped here for so long. I don't know if I can see her again. Let's not say whether we can find it or not. Even if we find it, maybe she is married to someone else. I'd rather she forgot that I was with someone else than suffer from this lovesickness with me." Snow Silver seems to be said sad, slowly turned to the dark place. Cloud Dance put away the idea of joking, and her face became serious. I don't know why. This time I see Shuyin, I always feel that something is wrong with him. The last time I saw him, although Shuyin had been imprisoned for a long time, his expression and words were full of innocence and liveliness. He didn't give up any hope and looked energetic. But now Snow Silver seems to have matured a lot, and the faint light around him doesn't know whether it has been restrained by him or disappeared for some reason. This leads to Yunwu not sure whether it is Snow Silver in the dark before. "Your wife has been found," Cloud Dance said seriously. Shuyin's body was stunned. She quickly turned around and came back to Yunwu. Her excited hands held Yunwu's shoulder, and her face was full of surprise. "What do you say? Did you find her? Did you really find it?" Yunwu was dazed by the shaking. And the heart thought carefully for a while, suddenly chuckled. "Yes, it will always succeed." Snow Silver Light said. The line of sight fell behind the Cloud Dance. "Don't know what to look at. I also want to give you a force." Cloud Dance looked at him suspiciously. "Since you want to, you can join us naturally. We are welcome at any time." Shuyin shook her head and said, "Do you know what my Numenon is?" "Numenon?" Cloud Dance alum. "Or energy stone?" "Poof!" Shuyin chuckled. "How can you compare me with those things? Can those inferior things compare with me?" Cloud Dance stretched out her hand to scratch her head and asked seriously, "What are you?" Snow Silver haughtily turned her head, snorted and said, "I tell you, my Numenon is energy snowstone." Cloud Dance mouth corner smoke to smoke asked, "Have difference?" "Why not? Those energy stones you mentioned are the most basic energy stones. As long as they contain a little energy to help others practice, they can be called energy stones, but I'm different," Snow Silver said with pride. "Oh, do you have more energy? can help a lot of people practice Cloud Dance asked. It can be said that. Snow Silver said, my Numenon is an energy snow stone, and it is enough to turn into a human form. The lowest energy stone can help others to practice, which contains powerful power. The higher one can have spirituality, can hide and not be found by others, and can be used to refine. The higher one is able to transform into a spirit body and finally have a real body. And some energy stones can become animals and birds. Only the energy stones deposited over the years can have their own consciousness and become highly intelligent human beings. Yunwu nodded. She knew that Shuin's identity was unusual, but she didn't expect it to be so unusual. I wasn't here, Snow Silver said. My spirit body is an energy snow stone, but one day I don't know how to get here, sealed up, and can't leave anymore. I only know that the base of the Beast Gate is above me, and I don't know anything else. I'm an energy snow stone, so I can stay here without eating or drinking. Then why does the Beast Gate want you to stay here? Cloud Dance asked suspiciously. Is it just because you're a rare energy snow stone? Don't you understand? Snow Silver laughed at himself. The base of the Beast Gate is so huge that it is destined to need energy supply, and I am the best choice. Cloud Dance, shocked open eyes, can't believe looking at Snow Silver said, what do you say? You exist to provide energy for the Gate of Beasts? Shui nodded and said, so, I have been here since the base of One Human was built. That's why I can't leave it forever. Do you think the Beast Gate will rest assured to let me leave? Cloud Dance is silent. If it is such an important existence, it is very difficult to take Snow Silver away. What's more, at present, there is really no way. I'm glad that you can deal with the Beast Gate, but I'm doomed not to join you. Snow Silver frowned, and a touch of pain flashed in her eyes. I'm different from my wife because of the Beast Gate, but now I'm still providing energy for the Beast Gate and the whole base. It's like I'm helping the enemy to harm my family and watching the Beast Gate go out to do evil. From just now on, Shuin has a bold idea in her heart. Since she can't join them to deal with the Beast Gate, she won't continue to help the Beast Gate to provide energy. At first, she was caught here by the Beast Gate. Shuin always wanted to see her mother again one day and save her from the blood corpse. But up to now, this wish is still not achieved. But he believed in Yunwu. Since she said that the lady was okay, he could rest assured that it would not be dangerous for her to follow Yunwu in the future. Don't be upset. I'll find a way to help you leave. Cloud Dance said seriously. It's too late. Snow Silver shook his head. These days, I can provide less and less power, and my own power is not much. I believe that it won't be long before the Beast Gate will find out and go to find new energy snowstones. Yunwu finally understood why Shuin became so weak. It was this reason, but I'm not willing to be used by the Beast Gate. Snow Silver Pain said, so you kill me. Cloud Dance looked at him with wide eyes. What do you say? Shuin took a deep breath, turned his head, and looked at Yunwu seriously. I said, let you kill me. I provide the energy for the One Human base. As long as you kill me, it is doomed to be a powerful disaster for One Human. When the border is broken, you can leave One Human. No, Cloud Dance coldly said, don't want to refuse him. Even if I don't kill you, I can get out of here, and I can deal with the Beast Gate. If the price of dealing with the Beast Gate is to harm the people around me, why should I deal with them? Shuin shook her head with a bitter smile and said, I can't wait for you to find a way. Before I disappear completely, it's a pleasure to be able to do my best to help you. The only thing I can't let go of is my wife, who needs more care from you in the future. Snow Silver, Cloud Dance cold drink. I tell you, don't tell me what happened. I said I won't kill you, but I won't. It's everyone's business to deal with the Beast Gate, not your own sacrifice. Yunwu's face was serious, even cold, and he looked at Shuin as if he was very angry. He wanted Shuin to take back his words immediately. Clinker Snow Silver Lung Lung. Eyes in Yunwu's face for a moment. Finally mouth moved, but did not say anything, just with a wry smile, head down, helplessly shook his head. Cloud Dance frowned. What do you mean? Snow Silver chuckled and said, there is no time. I know that the power of the Beast Gate is growing, so the energy needed for his base is also growing. It won't be long before it's even harder to deal with. Yunwu was silent and didn't speak. Although she knew what Xuyin said was true, she wouldn't do it anyway. What about the difficulties? No matter how difficult it is, she will try to beat them. Snow Silver will Cloud Dance look in the eyes. Know that no matter what you say is useless, so Side said, well, since you don't want to be like this, then I don't ask. After Xuyin said this, Yunwu didn't feel relaxed at all. Instead, she stared at Xuyin as if to see the flaw in his face. Snow Silver Mouth a Hook said, do you know how to leave here? Cloud Dance shook his head. How to leave? The border here is set by Shangwen's Hong and other experts in the Beast Gate. Ordinary people can't open it all, unless you know a specific way to remove the array from Shangwen's Hong, or find a person who is very familiar with the array. In addition, there is an extreme way. Xuyin looked at the Cloud Dance and said, you have a right saying, as long as the strength is strong enough, nothing can't be broken. So is the border. I don't have any way to improve your strength in a short time, and my own strength is not enough to destroy the border. But I have another way. What can I do? Cloud Dance asked. Xuyin looks at Yunwu with a smile and doesn't speak. Cloud Dance's doubt. See, Snow Silver has no light body, suddenly again sent out light. The next moment, the dazzling light instantly lit up the whole border. Yunwu understood what Xuyin said. Blow yourself up. Snow Silver, you are crazy. Stop. Cloud Dance roars. Want to come forward to stop. But in the face of self-explosion, she is helpless. In fact, Yunwu knows very well that once the explosion starts, no matter how powerful the people around him are, they can't be stopped unless he gives up. If he gives up, the final result is that he loses all his power. Xuyin is an energy snowstone. If he gives up self-explosion at this time, he is still dead. Snow Silver Smile was a group of dazzling light, but not because he is about to leave and have the slightest fear. Yunwu, please take care of her. If you are defeated by the Beast Gate, tell her that I will wait for her and reincarnate with her. This drop of snow mountain is my origin. Now I'll give it to you. I hope you can help me to wipe out the Beast Gate as soon as possible and take revenge for me. Snow Silver gradually becomes transparent in the body, a transparent, as if the water drops in general things flying towards a cloud, finally stopped in front of the cloud, quietly suspended. Boom dash, a huge explosion rang through the whole border. Snow Silver's body also disappeared, separated. A force will be wrapped in the cloud. And then in the explosion, the whole border will also shake up. Cloud Dance was wrapped by the power, quickly reached out to catch the drops of the snow mountain, slowly wrapped by the power, and went towards the border. Finally, the border is completely broken. Then, the entire Beast Gate base can no longer receive new energy. Cloud Dance turned to see the position before Snow Silver, and found that he could not be seen at all. At this time, Yunwu suddenly felt that the people of Wanwoman were coming here from distance. Everyone's breath was very strong. Yunwu bit his lips and turned away from here. Shangwen's Hong took people to the ground quickly, but the scene in front of him made his eyes red and angry. Before the meeting, the ground was covered with rubble, filled with smoke, dusty and dark, but in front of him he saw that most of the ground had collapsed and was dark. At this time, the ground is still a little trembling. Dust debris fell on their own head. Only the shadow of Snow and Silver disappeared. Also disappeared the shadow of clouds. Sure enough, these two are not fuel-efficient lamps. Shangwen's Hong gritted his teeth and walked towards the inside. However, the more he went inside, the more angry Shangwen's Hong was, the more trembling he was. All the stones on the ground trembled slightly because of his anger. Some small stones had gradually floated. His eyes were red, and his appearance was very frightening. He stood quietly on the ground, covered with the intention of killing, so that his clothes were windless, and the black air overflowed from himself, and his appearance was very ferocious. And the people around him were so scared that they almost fell on their knees and shivered in front of Shangwen's Hong. "What are you doing in a daze? Why don't you chase me as soon as possible?" Shangwen's Hong angrily looks at the man in black around him. "If you don't get her back today, you'll all die." But the man in black around him was still very scared. He stood up and said yes. But he was scared by Shangwen's Hong and couldn't walk at all. He moved slowly. Shangwen's Hong was very angry when he saw that his subordinates were behaving like this. His eyes were red as if he was bloodthirsty. He suddenly raised his hand and pulled down one of his hands in front of him. He pinched his neck. The rest of the people did not dare to hesitate any more and ran out in a hurry. "Separate a part of people. Go elsewhere and find me a new energy stone." Shangwen's Hong shouts. He looks at everything around him in shock. It seems that there has been an explosion and half of the wall has almost collapsed. He almost buried this place. If the explosion is bigger, the whole base may have been destroyed. Shangwen's Hong took a deep breath and calmed his anger, but he didn't see Yunwu for a moment. Don't let him have so many troubles. At this time, Shangwen's Hong just wanted to kill Yunwu. All the people around him have gone away. Shangwen's Hong looks around to make sure that Shuyin is no longer there. Swing your sleeve and head for the exit. This time she must die. Looking at the darkness in front of him, Shangwen's Hong clenched his fist. Yunwu turned his head and looked behind him. Most of the base of Wan Human has been destroyed, but out of this valley, there are still long mountains ahead. The pursuers of the Beast Gate must be catching up soon. Cloud Dance narrowed her eyes and decided to flee quickly now. On the one hand, it is urgent to find partners to discuss the next thing. On the other hand, it is also necessary to escape from the chase of the Beast Gate. However, there are too many people in the Beast Gate. Before Yunwu takes 2 steps, he meets the patrol team in front of him. Between the patrol teams, they will never exceed 500 meters. In this way, he can almost rush to the other team to support him in the moment of danger. So, now this kind of situation is really very dangerous. Cloud Dance is very careful to hold his breath, thinking that do not disturb any of the teams. So Yunwu hid behind a big stone for a long time until the 2 teams in front passed by. For a long time, I didn't see any other team coming from here, so I vomited, came out from behind the stone, and ran towards the forest. The speed of Cloud Dance is very fast this time. It's not long before it's out of the distance. Looking back, Wan Human Base has become unimportant. However, 100 li radius, no, 1,000 li radius, is the range of the Beast Gate. Any place, as long as Cloud Dance uses Mount or summons Beast, can be quickly found. This makes Cloud Dance very distressed and continues to gallop forward, not daring to stay at all. However, if you don't ask for trouble, trouble will still ask for you. Before long, Yunwu saw a group of people in black in the forest in front of him. The team was small, 10, and was patrolling the forest. But not far from these people, there must be at least 4 teams around them, for fear that any team would be different. Yunwu frowned and lowered her head to think about it carefully. Now she must think of a perfect way to wipe out the team of people in black in front of her. But 10 people, even if she sacrificed the ancient sword, could not kill them all in an instant. Any one of them could attract the attention of the rest of the team. In the forest, the atmosphere was very heavy. Yunwu lowered her head, took a deep breath, leaned over, and quietly walked from the low grass towards the direction of the Beast Gate team. She wanted to go around to the back of these people, and then suddenly attack them. In front of the 10,000 Beast Gate team, very careful, must be the base of the news has been passed to them. Now they're also highly nervous. Suddenly, there was a commotion in the grass in front of them. All the people in the team were startled and ran towards the direction of the sound in front of them. They turned over the grass carefully, but they didn't see anything. 10 people's faces became colder and colder. One of them was ready to inform the other team to come. All of a sudden, a rabbit in the grass came out bouncing, turned his head, and looked at 10 people, as if he were watching a joke. With banter, he hopped away towards the woods. 10 people are very angry. Curse a few, continue to search. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to stir up smile, and the hand, already many 5 or 6 stones, threw toward all around. Suddenly, 5 or 6 voices sounded from all directions, which scared the 10 people in front of them. They gathered together, and no one dared to walk in the direction of the voice. "Captain, go and have a look." "What's the matter?" "But it could be a rabbit again." "Not so many rabbits." "Go and have a look." It said that those who escaped are very powerful. 10 people were pushing and shoving, but no one dared to come near. "Cloud, dance is not urgent. Throw out a few stones." After a while, one of them suggested, "Let's work in pairs and go to the places where there are voices. If there is any situation, we will shout for help. Anyway, there are other teams and people from our team." All agreed. So, 10 people divided into 5 groups, moving carefully in all directions. Yunwoo nodded. He was really obedient, so he suddenly disappeared and walked quietly towards the 2 people in front of him. In his hand, he was surprised to find the vines everywhere. Towards one of the people's neck hard cut down. That person has not yet reacted, has been soft to the ground. The people around have not had time to react, has been cloud dance from behind, fiercely put the leg on the person's back, try to straighten forward. The man rolled his eyes and pushed his legs hard, but he couldn't push the people behind him. He wanted to turn his head, but he couldn't help it. After a while, the man in black in Yunwoo's hands had lost his breath. Put the person on the ground, and Yunwoo shakes his sore hand. After all, this man is an adult man, and the weight is difficult for him. Put the 2 people in front of you in the grass, and stand up. A gust of wind came, and there was no trace. Good. That's it. Cloud danced, smile, continued to walk toward the other side of the people. The other 2 seemed very alert. They heard the rustling grass dancing behind them and turned quickly. But Yunwoo is invisible. It seems that their level can't be found at all, so they turn around and continue to look for it. But just as they look down, the vine in Yunwoo's hand suddenly twines around their necks and drags them to the tree behind them. Then they hide behind the tree and twinkle 2 people in the tree. After a while, the 2 men also died. Cloud, dance, vomited breath. Thought should be almost, at least in front of can quietly leave. So he took off the clothes of man in black, put them on his body, showed his figure, and walked in a direction. Tell Lord Shangwen's Hong that a member of a small team has been assassinated. Listening to the reports from the people below, Shangwen's Hong's face was gloomy to the extreme. He held his hands tightly, and his murderous spirit had made his subordinates tremble. He spat out a few words, but he was cold to the extreme. "I want you to be useless." The man in front of him had not had time to beg for mercy. His panic expression just appeared on his face. Suddenly, his mouth gushed blood, his eyes turned, and he died suddenly. Shangwen's Hong hit the stone wall with a return fist and suddenly made a big hole in the stone wall. The whole cave was filled with smoke and dust. "You guys follow me," said with a few people toward the outside. "I really underestimate Cloud Dance. If there are small characters in front of her, Yunwoo doesn't know that Shangwen's Hong is on the way to kill her. Danger is drawing near. Yunwoo wears the clothes of a man in black and goes straight ahead. She doesn't know where the front is and what kind of person she will meet, but she knows that she must run away from here. Now this kind of feeling is too bad. There's a kind of uneasy feeling in Yunwoo's heart. The clothes of the Beast Gate were not conspicuous in the scattered search team just now. At this time, she quietly passed by the 2 people in black who were checking the grass. The 2 people were still saying hello to her. "You don't have any problems there?" "Yes, why are you alone?" The man around him was very confused and went to Yunwoo. Cloud Dance's heart is very nervous. She can't use her own ancient martial arts sword. Had to clench hands to solve the 4 human life vines. The vines were hidden in the wide sleeves of black clothes and could not be seen. "Yes, which way are you going?" The man in black came to Yunwoo and asked, but seeing that Yunwoo didn't speak, his face suddenly changed. "Do you know what happened over there? Someone's been in trouble?" Before he finished, Yunwoo didn't say a word, just nodded and pointed in one direction. The 2 men in black, dark and dignified, ran away towards the direction of Cloud dancing in front of them. Cloud Dance Heart Sneer, really enough stupid, quickly toward the front to continue to walk quickly. But further on, Yunwoo's face became dignified, because in front of him there were about 20 people from the Beast Gate. They were divided into two teams, one left and one right, and they came towards this side almost at the same time. And Cloud Dance at this time, alone, wearing black clothes, in a piece of green, is very conspicuous. So those people soon found the existence of Cloud Dance, and someone yelled, "Who are the people over there? Why are you standing there?" Yunwoo held her breath. She made all the preparations and stood quietly in front of about 20 people. She was waiting for the people in front of her. She hoped that the people in front of her would not come, but this might not happen. Two teams of people in black came to this side very alert and asked, "Which team are you from? What about your team?" Yunwoo didn't dare to talk, clenched his fist, and lowered his head. "If I ask you something, why don't I talk?" Words have not yet fallen, but the man in black saw, just in front of the solitary man in black, suddenly lost sight. His face suddenly faded. Cloud Dance, suddenly concealed body shape, toward the person in front of fast and go, a punch toward the nose of the man in black. Suddenly, the nose of the man in black was bleeding. He covered his nose, but could not find who it was. He was angry, but suddenly felt a very strong and huge pressure, which made him pale. He already felt that Shangwen's Hong was coming. I only heard a burst of cold laughter in the forest. The cold laughter, like a cold blade, quickly penetrated into everyone's heart. Of course, it also penetrated into Cloud Dancing's heart. Yunwoo's brows are tight, and his heart is slightly heavy. It seems that he can't escape this time. So Yunwoo sacrifices his sword in stealth and is ready to wait for the appearance of Shangwen's Hong in front of him. But Shangwen's Hong didn't show up. Yunwoo thought for a moment. So he decided to go first, so without saying a word, he continued to run forward on tiptoe. But not far away, she felt a huge pressure behind her, which made her face pale. She turned and waved. She could only choose to fight face to face with Shangwen's Hong. As expected, Yunwoo was beaten back a few steps, forced to show his body, just fell in the middle of a group of people. This group of people, suddenly in an uproar, are very excited towards Yunwoo around. Yunwoo was beaten by Shangwen's Hong. Her face turned pale, and her mouth overflowed with blood. And Cloud Dance, at this time, has been far away. Looking around, Shangwen's Hong is still chasing after him. Yunwoo changes his direction and runs to the foot of a mountain. It's very fast, but Shangwen's Hong was suddenly stunned, stopped in the same place, and then walked in the direction of Cloud Dance. In Yunwoo's heart, the secret way is troublesome, but it speeds up, turns around a few times, and continues to gallop, while Shangwen's Hong is also dropped a long distance. In a huge forest, countless people in black were stunned by the fierce, shaking grass in front of them and the crazy pursuit of Shangwen's Hong. Finally, a mountain appeared in front of me. I saw that there were countless caves under the mountain in front of me. I'm afraid they were the places where Warcraft used to hide food. I was very surprised. Now, I ran to one of the caves and then quickly went in. Shangwen's Hong had already reached the foot of the mountain. At a glance, he saw countless caves not far away. His face turned red and roared. However, even if he felt the smell of Cloud Dance now, he could not find where Cloud Dance was. There are so many caves in front of us, we can't let ourselves find them one by one. He turned to look at his men and said, "You, go to the cave in front of me and search one by one." His subordinates hurried away, looking flustered. Who knows whose cave this is and whether there are cannibals? But who dares not to listen to the order of Shangwen's Hong? They go away in a hurry and walk toward the cave. Cloud everywhere into a cave. This just saw, in front of the cave, actually winding as if to a very far place. So in his hand, holding the big sword, he walked cautiously towards the front, thinking maybe there will be another exit not far ahead. Sure enough, this cave is very long. After walking for a long time, I finally saw a light and ran forward. But I saw that there was another exit in front of me. Turn around and see if there's still no one coming over there. That's great, Cloud Dance thought in the heart, quickly drilled out from the hole. Standing in front of the mountain, Shang Wentong's face was gloomy to the extreme because he could no longer feel the smell of clouds. He tried to kill people. Shang Wentong said, "Let's go." In the dark and deep dungeon of the Beast Gate, Shang Wentong took a group of people in black robes behind him and walked slowly towards the depth. In the past, this dungeon was not guarded by many people, but now it is guarded by a man in black every few steps. Since the self-explosion of Shuyin, there is no energy supply in the base of one human. All the places are in the charge of the members of the Beast Gate. All the arrays that rely on snow silver to provide energy are invalid. Only a small number of arrays that do not need snow silver to provide energy are still in use. Similarly, because of the self-explosion of Shuyin, the more the base of one human went down, the more it turned into ruins, and some of them barely maintained their shape, which seemed to be in danger. Shang Wentong's face is heavy. There is no evidence that the dungeon in today's dungeon is the one in the past. The dungeon that can only rely on personnel's hands can assign more people to do the things arranged by himself. What's more, today, Yunwu has slipped away from his hands several times. How can he not be angry? So today, he must use some other methods to capture Yunwu again. Dada footsteps have been extending to the depth. The people of the 10,000 Beast sect, standing on both sides, all felt frightened when they passed by Shang Wentong. It was said that Shang Wentong was in a bad mood during this period, and people always died in his hands. So everyone was very careful, for fear that he would be offended by one of them, and they would not even know how to die. Finally, the steps of Shang Wentong stopped, and the people behind him also stopped. In front of us is a big dungeon. Although the area is much larger than other dungeons, and the guards around are a few more than other places, the environment here is more messy. It seems that the people in charge are very important to Shang Wentong, and he is willing to torture those who make him unhappy. The more unhappy he is, the more he wants to torture. There are several human beings in the dungeon. If Yunwu were here, she would be able to find them all. Open the door. Shang Wentong made a cold voice. Yes, one side immediately has a black-dressed person to answer away, then immediately come forward to take out the key, open the door of that dungeon. The moment the door opens, the light on the door flashes, and the pattern of an array emerges. Originally, these people were locked in the dungeon closest to the bottom, which was one of the strongest defenses in the whole Beast Gate. But Shuyin self-explodes. The array in their previous cell is invalid, so they can only turn here and rely on the newly constructed array to defend. Shang Wentong. People in the dungeon looked up one after another and saw Shang Wentong standing at the gate of the dungeon. The expressions on their faces were different, but the most was still hatred. The corner of Shang Wentong's mouth is a hook. Although she can't catch Yunwu, it's good to catch the people she cares about here and torture them. If Yunwu knows, I'm afraid her face won't be much better. How are you living here? Shang Wentong stepped forward and stood outside the array at the door of the cell, sneering at the people who were locked up inside. Shang Wentong, if you do evil, you must die. All the people of the Beast Gate will die hard. One day you will be rewarded. I tell you. There will be revenge for us. The imprisoned people all said excitedly. Looking at the look of Shang Wentong, they were eager to rush up to eat him one by one, and even some excited people really rushed up. But just when his hands touched the edge of the array, it was like being struck by lightning. A flash of light, a dash, a scream. Shaking hands quickly back. There was chaos in the dungeon. Shang Wentong, with a sneering smile, said, "Look at you now. Where can you see the Murong family in the past? If Yunwu were here now, he would be killed by the direct anger of Qi. What did you say?" Hearing Shang Wentong's words, many people immediately raised their heads. Then an old man slowly stood up and looked at Shang Wentong. "What did you say? Little dance? Where is she?" Shang Wentong glanced at the people's faces and said, "She not here for the time being." As soon as the words came out, people were relieved. They were afraid that Yunwu would fall into the hands of the Beast Gate just like them. At that time, there would be no chance. Yunwoo is too cunning. She escaped from me several times. I don't know what method she used. Last time I caught her, she provoked the energy snow stone of my base to explode and took the opportunity to escape here. It's disgusting. It's thanks to him that our beast gate has become like this. If I can catch her, I will kill her as soon as he said cloud dance. Shang Wentong was angry and said fiercely, "Ha ha ha, good, good, good. The little dance is really good." Murong Yin stood up and went to the old man just now. They stood together and were facing Shang Wentong. There was no fear in their eyes. After listening to Shang Wentong's words, everyone's looks had a sense of great happiness. Xiaowu is a good child with strong strength and tough character. It's hard for you to win her, ha ha ha, Murong said with a loud laugh, completely forgetting that he was still in prison at this time. Shang Wentong's eyes were cold. Don't be happy too soon. Do you think I'm only here to bring you news? The Murong aristocratic family was not moved at all, and they were still happy with the news. At this point, no matter what they face, they're already fearless. Even if Shang Wentong is in a bad mood, how about throwing fire at them? At this point, death may be better than survival. So they didn't pay attention to Shang Wentong at all. They were still happily talking about Yunwoo. Xiaowu is a child. I said she looks good. What's the matter? Look, even the beast gate can't help her. Yes, I said before, her future is limitless. Maybe there will be another day when the gate of beasts will be destroyed. There was a lot of discussion. Shang Wentong, standing outside the dungeon, looked very ugly. Well, you think so much, Shang Wentong said coldly. Don't think it's okay for her to run away. If you want her to show up, I have many ways. At that time, I think you can still laugh. After that, Shang Wentong turned around and said to several people in black, "Take all these people away." Yes, the man in black answered quickly, and then directly poured into the dungeon, pulled all those people up from the ground, and followed them out of the dungeon behind Shang Wentong. In the main hall of the Beast Gate headquarters, Shang Wentong issued a new order. Release the news. Within 3 days, let Yunwoo go to the headquarters base to surrender. 3 days later, no one. I will kill her relatives and Murong family. Yes, all the people in black took orders and went out one after another. Sitting on the first seat, Shang Wentong coldly looks at the Murong aristocratic family people who have been moved to the main hall in metal cages, showing a bloodthirsty smile. Yunwoo is sitting in a small tavern in a small town not far from the headquarters of One Human, eating. This town is under the control of the Beast Gate, but it's also the only place with many people nearby. For cloud dance, as long as you blend into the crowd and cover up your breath, you can avoid the pursuit of the Beast Gate. With the vast sea of people, can you catch them one by one? What's more, now that we are here, Yunwoo still needs to inquire about some things. All of a sudden, a group of people broke into the tavern, which had been busy just now, and the tavern was quiet for a moment. Yunwoo lowered his head and looked at the group of black-robed people who suddenly appeared with the remaining light from the corner of his eyes. He thought in his heart, I'm catching up so soon. I don't know if Shang Wentong has followed me. This time, the people in black didn't do as much as before. On the contrary, they took the lead in watching the pub. Finally, they raised their voice and said, Everyone listen to me. The Lord has orders. If anyone sees cloud dancing, he must tell her. If she doesn't turn herself into the headquarters within 3 days, she will kill her relatives. Besides, all the people of Murong family are in our hands. Let her do what she can. Did you hear that? The man in black asked coldly. What he said just now attracted all the people in the restaurant to hear. Now when he asked so seriously, many people were busy nodding and said, I hear you. The man in black nodded with satisfaction and went to the next place. After all the people in black left, the restaurant resumed its previous bustle. But this time the topic of public discussion was all about the cloud dance. Hey, cloud dance again? Isn't that the one who has been wanted a few days ago? Why haven't you caught it so far? Who knows? I can't imagine that there are people who can't be caught in the Beast Gate. Tut tut. I really don't know what the cloud dance is. It's so powerful. What's the use of being more powerful? Now, they can't even protect their relatives. Those people are in the hands of the Beast Gate. Can they have good fruit to eat? I think that cloud dance is doomed this time. Shoo, keep your voice down. Dare you speak ill of the Beast Gate? Don't you want to live? The voice of discussion bit by bit into the cloud's ears, sitting in the corner of the cloud's palm tightly. Beast Gate. Yunwu gnashed his teeth in his heart and thought, how can they forget? They can't catch themselves, but they can attack the people around them. Murong Yun and his grandfather are in the hands of the Beast Gate. If they don't go, I'm afraid they will be more or less lucky. All around a sound like a magic spell, all people have no doubt that the Beast Gate can really do something to destroy the Murong family. But more people are wondering whether Cloud Dance will appear. But in Yunwu's heart, there's only one idea that has never changed. That is, must go. He put the teacup on the table heavily and made a dull sound of bang. Yunwu took out the money and put on the table, then left the tavern quietly. The speed of Cloud Dance is extremely fast, and with the help of Chaos Hall, the people who escaped the Beast Gate all the way to the headquarters base. She didn't worry about meeting Shangwen's Hong on the road, because in these 3 days, he would stay under the headquarters of Wanwoman and wait for her. Finally, Yunwu reappeared at the gate of Wanwoman Base. Looking at the headquarters base in front of him, the place he managed to escape from now had to be delivered to the door. Yunwu couldn't help laughing bitterly. It's Providence. He said this, but Yunwu was not careless in his action. He went around the hall and went to the dungeon where he had been before. After a few days of conditioning, with the help of the power of enchanting bite. Therefore, Yunwu's injuries in the dungeon have been recovered a lot, and the power of the 3rd layer of Chaos Hall is better than before. But Yunwu still knows that if Shangwen's Hong is in front of him, he can easily find himself. They should be locked up here. Cloud Dance frowned and looked at the depth of the dungeon, surrounded by 10,000 beast men. It seemed that it was more strict than before. Yunwu doesn't know how much trouble Shuin's self-explosion has brought to the base. From the dungeon's point of view, it just feels that the guard is stricter than before, but it doesn't know about the array. It must be right here because of the high security. Cloud Dance thoughtfully said, feel for a while really know Shangwen's Hong breath, so quickly drilled in, a cell to find. It's natural for Yunwu to find them, but it doesn't mean that she will surrender without doing anything. In any case, she will try to fight to see if the Murong family are really here, and whether she can try to save people. Otherwise, if you really turn yourself in, you will fall into the hands of the Beast Gate. At that time, people may not be able to save you, and you will die here. Yunwu is not familiar with the dungeon. When he was locked in before, he was alone on the other side, so now it's very difficult to find it. It took Yunwu nearly half a day to watch the whole dungeon. Yunwu, who stood at the gate of the dungeon again, had a heavy face because she didn't find the Murong family, but she felt their residual breath. How can we not find? Cloud Dance frowned, carefully thinking. In the end, where is wrong? Why this situation? As time went by, Yunwu looked at the layout of the whole dungeon and felt that it was different from when she left. Did I miss something? Cloud Dance thought, then immediately decided to go in again to explore. This time, she was more careful than before. She not only checked the pass carefully, but also felt the atmosphere around her at the same time. It took much more time than the first time. Even after she went in again, it took 2 hours. Standing at the door of the dungeon again, Yunwu was more confused and even began to worry about music. But just then, outside the dungeon, there was a voice she knew very well. Now that you're here, you don't have to hide. It's not so easy to whisper that they robbed them. The sound of Shangwen's Hong was heard clearly by all the beasts in the whole dungeon. In an instant, everyone looked for the figure of Cloud Dance everywhere. Yunwu, wrapped in the smoke of Duman, stood there so upright until he heard the sound of Shangwen's Hong. Yunwu's heart moved and went directly into the 3rd floor of Chaos Hall. Shangwen's Hong is different from these people. She can stand in front of people without being found. But even if it is still 100 feet away from Shangwen's Hong, he will feel his own breath. It's no use even hiding. The voice of Shangwen's Hong came again. Just don't know how This voice is still in the same position as just now. Cloud Dance can hear, although the other party found their own existence, but did not mean to start. Think of here, Cloud Dance not only did not feel relaxed, but also instantly raised the heart. Standing in the third floor of Chaos Hall, Yunwoo feels the surrounding environment with his eyes closed. What he pays most attention to is the smell of Shangwen's Hong. But now has been found, so will not act rashly, so quietly standing. Although Shangwen's Hong found out that she didn't come, Yunwoo thought that it was because Shangwen's Hong couldn't determine her position. If she acted rashly, Shangwen's Hong would do it immediately. After that sentence, the whole headquarters of the Beast Gate fell into silence. Shangwen's Hong didn't speak, and other people didn't dare to speak. Yunwoo and he seemed to compare with each other. No one wants to speak first. Finally, Shangwen's Hong seems to be impatient, knowing that Yunwoo won't show up. I had expected that you would not turn yourself into me. Your strength is so strong and your heart is so high. Naturally, I have to anticipate what you plan to do in advance and be on guard anytime. Just this time, you're going to be wrong. Shangwen's Hong said coldly, with pride in his voice. Since I'm dealing with you, why don't I be fully prepared? I'm not hiding it from you. The people of Murong aristocratic family are on the main hall of the headquarters of our 10,000 Beast Gate. If you have the courage, you can come directly. I'll wait for you here. Of course, you may not believe it. Just continue to look for the person you want at my base, but as soon as 3 days arrive, I will kill one person a day, and the body is hanging at the front door of the headquarters, waiting for you to get it. Ha ha ha. Yunwoo's fists were tightly clenched. Now, she had no doubt about what Shangwen's Hong said. Originally, the people of Murong aristocratic family are on the main hall. The voice of Shangwen's Hong didn't come again. Yunwoo knew that he didn't have to wait any longer. At last, he took a look at the dungeon. Yunwoo turned and left the dungeon. Above the main hall, Shangwen's Hong sat on the top seat, with a cold smile on his mouth, looking at the Murong aristocratic family in a huge cage below. What he said just now can be heard clearly in the headquarters of the Beast Gate. Naturally, all the people of Murong aristocratic family who are so close to him have heard it. At this time is one by one of the angry stare at him, want to rush out of the cage while he pieces. Shangwen's Hong, you will get retribution. Murong family of a young man roared loudly. He is the most irascible one among these people, but after being arrested and tortured by the Beast Gate for so long, his temper has been almost worn, and he knows more about the importance of maintaining physical strength. But at this time, hearing Shangwen's Hong's words, his calm mind seemed to disappear in an instant and roared out. There are many people who are in the same mood with him. All the people in the cage, except Murong Yun and his grandfather, stand up and stare at Shangwen's Hong and roar. Shangwen's Hong, don't think the little dance party is afraid of you. I tell you, the little dance is very powerful. She is very smart and won't come. You can kill us. Shangwen's Hong, I advise you to give up this method. Otherwise, you will waste your time waiting here. Everyone you a word, a language of scramble to say. The heart is very worried about Cloud Dance really come. After being tortured by the Beast Gate for such a long time, they have long ignored life and death. Compared with Yunwoo's adventure, they hope that Yunwoo can protect themselves and destroy the Beast Gate in the future to avenge them. If Cloud Dance comes this time, I'm afraid it will be more dangerous than good. Shangwen's Hong glanced at the people below and gave a sneer. He didn't pay any attention to them, as if it was a waste to look at them. He had enough confidence that Yunwoo would come here. 3 days is just around the corner. Shangwen's Hong sat on the first seat and slowly opened his eyes. Compared with a few days ago, today's main hall is more heavily guarded, with rows of people in black standing on both sides of the lower hall, and the cage containing the owner of Murong family is placed in the middle of the main hall. Everyone in Murong family was worried and prayed to Yunwoo not to come. As time went by, Murong family became more and more relaxed. They even thought that time had better pass quickly. Shangwen's Hong had better kill all of them now and let Yunwoo not take risks. However, when a slender figure appeared at the gate of the main hall of the Beast Gate, and walked steadily towards it. The Murong aristocratic family were filled with sadness and joy, and their hearts were filled with melancholy. When they see Cloud dancing, they always have the illusion of hope. When they think about the current situation, they are not optimistic. When the figure of Cloud Dance appeared, the man in black on the main hall was faced with a great enemy, as if he could start at any time. But then Shang Wenzhong raised his hand, indicating that people should not act rashly. Cloud Dance was cold with a face, walking step by step against the light, with an ancient sword hanging on the side of his body and the black flame burning on it. She didn't stop until she was close to the cage. Yunwu looks at the people of Murong aristocratic family who are locked in the iron cage one by one with complicated eyes. He just feels as if there is something burning in his heart. He wants to rush up and smash Shang Wenzhong to pieces. Here you are at last. Shang Wenzhong squinted at Yunwu and said in a low voice, I knew you would come. Cloud Dance will look away from the people in the cage, look up at Shang Wenzhong, voice cold asked, I have come. You let them go. Let them go. Shang Wenzhong raised his eyebrows, stood up and laughed. Ha ha ha. Cloud Dance frowned and looked at the Shang Wenzhong, standing above. He didn't understand what he meant. That's interesting. When did I say I would let them go as long as you came? Don't dream. With a cold hum and a wave of his hand, the man in black immediately came forward, opened the cage, and led the people out one by one. The weak Murong aristocratic family had no backhand power at this time. They were carried by the people in black, like chickens, and could only be manipulated. Shang Wenzhong is not afraid of what the Cloud Dance Party does. As long as she dares to act rashly, these people will die the next moment. What do you want to do? Cloud Dance wrung eyebrows to ask away, looking at those who were carried in the hands of people in black. Very hard take. I don't want to do anything, Shang Wenzhong said with a smile, but the smile made people feel very uncomfortable. You surprised me so much. Even if you were arrested, you still had the ability to nearly destroy my base. So this time, I have to have a long memory, and I can't let you escape anymore. Yunwu took a deep breath and said in a cold voice, If you let them go, I won't run away again. Shang Wenzhong sneered. Empty talk without foundation. What if I let them go and you run away? Or another way? Cloud Dance frowned. What do you want? How's it going? Shang Wenzhong's eyes were cold and his hands spread out. He flew down from above and landed in front of the people in black. He grabbed a person from a man in black and watched the Cloud Dance. Adoptive father, Cloud Dance exclaimed, although at the beginning she would not admit Murong Yun, who claimed to be her adoptive father, but her adoptive father has gone, and he is now her relative. What's more, Murong family will be arrested because of her. Murong Yin was caught by Shang Wenzhong and hung down feebly. It seems that he suffered a lot in the Beast Gate. Cloud Dance heart anger unceasingly, temporarily excited, unexpectedly nearly rushed forward. Don't move. Shang Wenzhong immediately stopped. If you dare to act rashly, I'm sure you will regret it immediately. Yunwu stops abruptly and looks at Shang Wenzhong. All kinds of ideas in his mind are constantly changing. His own strength is not as good as Shang Wenzhong. What's more, all the hostages are in his hands at this time. As soon as I do it, I'm afraid Little Dance. Yugo Murong Yun's neckline was carried. At this time, it was difficult to breathe, but he still said, I'm old. It doesn't matter whether I live or die, but you have to leave here. Only you live can you revenge us. As soon as Murong Yun's words were finished, others echoed, Yes, Xiaowu. As long as you are alive, you will be able to leave here alive with your ability. Little Dance, we are grateful that you can come, but you are not his opponent. Let's go. Cloud Dance eyes cold. Listen to these words. The whole person is like an ice sculpture in general. There is no temperature. Only that tightly hold the hand of Gawu, Degeo, exposed her mood at this time. How is that possible? How is it possible to leave behind the existence of their own as relatives? A person muddle along. Today, as long as she is here, we should protect them in any case. Otherwise, even if she died, she would not leave before them. Tut tut, what a touching scene. Shangwen's Hong said with a sneer. It's just a pity. It can't move me. Yunwu looks at Shangwen's Hong and doesn't say anything. She knows that it's useless to say anything. She can only see what the purpose of Shangwen's Hong is. I've been waiting for you for 3 days, but you didn't arrive until the last day. Are you thinking of something? Shangwen's Hong said, Isn't it going to be here in the end? Yunwu took a deep breath and said, I'm not interested in hearing you say this. I've come. Isn't your purpose to let me die? Now you let them go. That you're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.